The following is an exclusive presentation of the Lawrence Raiders Sports Network. Lawrence Raider football is on the air. This is live coverage of Lawrence Raider football brought to you by Self Regional Healthcare, Brewington Contractors, Valvoline Express Care, AMT, Lawrence Commission of Public Works, Angela Marlette State Farm, PRTC, Chestnut Ridge Baptist Church, Bucks Auto Sales, Furman Ford, Big Air Lawrence, and the Lawrence County Water and Sewer Commission on the Lawrence Raiders Sports Network, powered by GoLawrence.com. Welcome into the Valvoline Express Care pregame show. Coming up will be keys to the game, insights into tonight's matchup, starting lineups, and a visit with the top Raider, head coach Greg Porter. Now over at KC Hanna Stadium in Lawrence with the call of the game, here are Andrew Corley, Thomas Jones, and the voice of your Lawrence Raiders, Jackson Edwards.
In South Carolina, the air gets just a little bit heavier on nights like this. The lights shine just a little brighter, and the names on these jerseys, well, they carry weight, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, it's not just another football game. It's Lawrence. It's Clinton. Two towns, one deep-rooted rivalry, and generations of pride stitched into every snap. This isn't just about touchdowns or tackles. It's about heart, about memory, about never letting your rival forget what happened tonight. Welcome to this presentation of the County Championship brought to you on the Lawrence Raider Sports Network. I'm Jackson Edwards, and beside me is former Gridiron Warrior and All-State defensive back Thomas Jones. TJ, this one doesn't just show up on the calendar. It lives in these players' blood.
No, man, this is a big game. You look forward to this one.
You definitely do. And, you know, ladies and gentlemen, both teams come into this Week 1 matchup, both 0-1, Clinton having lost to Woodruff on the road at Woodruff last week, and Lawrence, as seen last week, on the road falling to the hands of Hillcrest. Well, Thomas, we're going to talk a little bit about Hillcrest, and we'll dive into today's game. So, Thomas, just kind of let me know some things you thought about the game that obviously didn't go our way. But, you know, like me and you often agreed on, the score truly didn't show what really happened in that game.
Oh, not at all. Honestly, we came out aggressive. I love that factor of the game. Like the first half was ours. I think, you know, a few key mistakes like the fumble early on in the game. We had a couple fumbles that kind of killed the game, that kind of ruined the momentum actually. But I think, you know, going in that second half, it just slowed down for us. You know, our play calling kind of got very, got very standard. You kind of knew what was happening next. So I think if we can cut down the mistakes going into this game, I think we'll be in a great position.
Well, you know what, Thomas, you're right. But like I said, in games like this, it's rivalry week here in Lawrence County. It's not just rivalry day. You played in this matchup quite a few times. So what's it mean to put on that jersey in games like this?
Oh, it means everything. You know, I got my first start. I actually got the feel of it as a ninth grader because I dressed out in varsity in ninth grade. But I actually got my first start as a sophomore actually on this field. And it was everything, you know. It was like you can't mess up, you know, because everybody sees you. You're on the big stage. You know, this is a game where pretty much everybody's coming home to. It's almost like a homecoming, almost. You know, that's not a homecoming, but this is a game you really want to win. You know, most of the people on the Clinton team, you probably know them. You probably grew up playing against them. So it's almost like one of those backyard football games.
Well, Thomas, I'll go ahead and say it. You never lost to these guys, did you?
Never lost to Clinton, you know, and I probably could show up to this game with one eye closed and still win. So, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Thomas Jones. At this time, we just want to give a quick thank you on behalf of our broadcast team for all the love we've received this week. We really appreciate it all. And, you know, ladies and gentlemen, it wouldn't be anything without these people that are around me. Thomas Jones is the best in the business sitting beside me. Y'all are going to get to hear Andrew Corley on the sideline this week, bringing a new element to the game. I know if you pay attention to social media, he's been threatening to do a lot of talking about Taylor Swift, but I don't know if we're going to keep that mic hot at that time, huh, Thomas?
Oh, man. I mean, He can get all. He's a Swiftie, I hear. So I know nothing about it. I know about Travis Kelce, but it's been everywhere. It's trending everywhere.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we're going to pan it down to the sideline. We're going to hear a little bit from Andrew Corley himself. Andrew, tell us about what's going down on the field right now.
Well, look, fellas, when Travis Kelce showed up at Arrowhead Stadium to see the Eras Tour, it really seemed like it was something for his podcast with his brother. But as things started to develop, or maybe, but we're down here. You can see Clinton has taken the field. The Raiders are about to come out. They spent a little more time in the locker room tonight. I checked with the coaches. They said they wanted a little more time to let the seniors speak, let the leaders on this team talk to them. The home opener rivalry game with Clinton, they're taking this seriously tonight, fellas.
As you said, Andrew, here come the Raiders right now coming out on the field. Well, you know, Andrew, you being down there in that environment, what's the feel like right now? What's the mojo down on the field right now, per se, with the coaches and now the players as you see them coming out?
Hey, the coaches were looking relaxed. They were looking ready. They were getting loose with each other. We'll see as the players get started. I can tell you just from a field perspective, this is nothing like what they were playing in last week at Hillcrest. That was some slop that they were running around in last week. We've got dry conditions. We're going to have dry balls. Hopefully we're going to see some of those little mistakes that got impacted by the field and the state of play last week are going to go away. But I'm excited to sneak over here into the warm-ups and see what's going on with some folks.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it first on that Angela Marlette sideline report from Mr. Andrew Corley. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we're going to take a quick break and hear a few words from our sponsors. You're listening to Lawrence Raider Football on the Lawrence Raider Sports Network.
Get connected to the future of driving performance with the Hercules Road Tour Connect PCV. This premium touring tire was made to make connections. Connecting the rubber to the road with reliable all-season handling. Connecting the drive to the destination with improved comfort and fuel efficiency. And connecting today's vehicles to tomorrow's driving performance. With our 70 years of expertise and leading protection promise riding shotgun, it's easy to make the connection to the Road Tour Connect PCV from Hercules Tires.
Looking for a great deal on a dependable ride? Buck's Auto Sales in Hickory Tavern has got you covered. Family owned for over 80 years and A+ accredited by the Better Business Bureau, they offer trusted service and solid pre-owned vehicles for every budget. With a wide selection of sedans, SUVs, and trucks, paired with flexible financing and friendly service. You'll drive off happy every time. Stop by Buck's Auto Sales at 13070 Highway 76 West in Gray Court, or call 8645-752700 to find the perfect car today. Buck's Auto Sales, where quality meets community.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Valvoline Express Care pregame show. Jackson Edwards, Thomas Jones here, giving you all of the content from the booth today. Well, Thomas, we're going to move on. We're going to go to our little snippet from around the league. Obviously last week we kind of read out what was going on league-wise, and we're going to kind of refresh on that. Well, starting with Westside. Westside also starting a young quarterback in Bear Woods who went down to Vestavia Hills in Alabama, and they sent the Westside Rams back home in a way that I don't think a lot of teams have done here recently.
Yeah, I figured, going to that game, going into a new state as well, I know that's a lot of pressure, especially with a new quarterback, because Westside, they had a great quarterback who's now at South Carolina. But, I'm sure that was a lot of pressure, a lot of momentum going to that game, just something, just traveling that far for your first game. I know that was probably a lot of pressure, I'm sure.
And obviously, like on long road trips, I'm still playing college baseball. You played a lot of pro baseball. You played a lot of football in your time. And, obviously on those longer trips, coaches make this big deal about getting the bus out of you. You know what I mean? Like getting the bus out of you. You think that could have played a factor into that outcome?
Oh, I'm sure. It's probably, for some guys, probably younger in their lives, this might be their first time out the state, out the state of South Carolina, and especially traveling that far. So, a lot of guys probably looked at it, as a fun trip or something like that. But it's something at the end of the day you still have, got a job to get done. And that's one thing, I probably going into the game, they probably struggled after that. But, they come back, play Teal-Hanna, so that's something of hopefully they can get on the run,
Well, you're right. Teal-Hanna lost last week. So as Thomas stated, the Westside Rams will face off against their in-city rivals, the Teal-Hanna Yellow Jackets, who were both 0-1. Moving on now to Southside. Southside fell to the hands of the Eastside Eagles, who we have seen in a scrimmage 51-6, Thomas.
Wow. Those 56 numbers, they get thrown up on the scoreboard a good bit, I see. But that's kind of tough. That's something, I'm sure Southside went back into their locker room and probably said, we got to do some adjusting. But, like I said, a new week, another one to get back on the road.
That's right, as Southside will be taking on Liberty, who fell to the hands of Fountain Inn last week. Fountain Inn kind of took care of business real easy against Liberty. Moving on now, the Wren Hurricanes had a unbelievable week. They beat Palmetto 42-0 to start their season.
Wow, that's how you really want to start. I don't. By the looks of it, I don't know if Palmetto, if they have a really, a lot of strength on their side, but that's a good win for Wren. Like I said, they're going to have another game this week, so hopefully, they keep it on the road. But if not, oh well, we play those guys, so hopefully they lose.
Well, as you said, Thomas, you played for Coach Freight, who's there now. You know how he coaches. He's a pretty hard-nosed guy, and he's going to coach tough guys. So, Wren will be facing off against easily both teams 1-0. Moving on now, the Emerald Vikings beat their kind of area rival, the 96, by a score of 28-0. Fairly easy win there as well.
It sounds like an easy win. Again, that's the kind of wins you want. Like, holding a team to a goose egg, that's, as a defensive guy, it's like, man, that's amazing.
Yeah, you're right. Hopefully we get to see some of that out here today. But moving on to our final around the league team. Actually, before that, Emerald will take on Travelers Rest this week. Both teams come in 1-0. But moving on now to our final team, Fountain Inn, a big-time win, as I said earlier, over Liberty, 48-14. But Fountain Inn, here's the big thing about them, is they now have to face Woodruff, who beat Clinton last week. Woodruff, a top 5 team in 3A, little sneaky. I've done some talking with some guys, and all they've said is Woodruff is the real deal. So, Fountain Inn played very well, but they're playing a very far superior opponent this week.
Yeah, man. I think this will be a good game. I think this will really be a good game. Like I've heard around that Woodruff, they do have a good team this year. So, Fountain Inn seems pretty good as well. So, I think this will be a really good matchup. I think this will go down to the wire.
Well, you're right, Thomas. Well, we're going to take another Angela Marlette sideline report here to Andrew Corley. The Raiders are now out stretching, going through their warm-ups. Andrew, what's the vibes like from the players out there on the field?
Well, guys, it looks good, looks loose. See, if they're thinking about last week, you don't see it from them. Everyone's looking like they're getting ready, this. What I'm interested in, I tell you who I'm hearing a little more from as they're starting to warm up, and that's Logan Bragg. He was quiet last week, freshman in his first game, kind of getting into that leadership role. I'm interested to see, as he continues to get comfortable, does he become kind of that vocal leader of this team?
You're right, Andrew. Well, I'll tell you what. On the other side of that field, big number 70, Trey Aiken, the North Carolina State commit, he definitely looks the part. I don't know if you've got to be over there and see a little bit about that, but I'm sure Thomas can probably alliterate a little bit more on that. But
oh yeah, he's not somebody you miss on the field out here. It's pretty easy to find him.
Well, you got that right. Well, again, ladies and gentlemen, stay with us. We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to Lawrence Raider Football here on the Lawrence Raider Sports Network.
Chestnut Ridge Baptist Church is more than a place to go. It's a place to belong. We invite you to join us each Sunday morning on one of our 3 campuses for relevant Bible preaching and exciting worship. Our central campus is located at 499 Chestnut Ridge Road in Lawrence. Services there are at 8, 9:15, and 10:30 each Sunday. Our Calvary campus is located at 702 North Sloan Street in Clinton. The service there begins at 10:30. Worship on our Hispanic campus, located at 22088 Highway 76 East, begins at 10:30. Chestnut Ridge Baptist Church. Welcome home.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Valvoline Express Care pregame show. Jackson Edwards, Thomas Jones here giving you all the content here on the Lawrence Raider Sports Network. Well, Thomas, it comes down to our last little snippet here on the pregame show before the folks get to listen to Coach Porter talk for a little bit, give us a little bit of a break on the air. But, Thomas, let's talk about what we got in front of us. Raiders, Red Devils. years and years of rivalry poured into this game, Thomas. You know, obviously, both teams coming in with a loss. It's a big game for both of them. No matter what the record was when Lawrence played Clinton ever, it's always meant something. And I don't think that changes today either.
No, not at all. I mean, again, like you said it perfectly. You know, no matter the record. I remember my senior year, we came into this Clinton game 0-3. And, you know, we still went into this game like, all right, you know, you still have the confidence like this should be a win game, you know. So, like I said, this is a big game for both teams. This is just like, you know, this in-county rivalry. You know, you want to get that win, and it's like you hold it for the year, so it feels good.
You got that right, and I'll tell you what, Thomas, you know, obviously Clinton's going to run the football.
Yes.
That's what they're going to do, and you almost can mark out the pass as their quarterback only threw for around 65 yards last week. Not very active in the pass game, but I tell you what, they got a three-headed monster at running back in Zy Butler, Javen Cook, and Angelo Cromer. Zy Butler last week was the guy that kind of came onto the scene. I'd never heard the name. Obviously, I knew the Javen Cook kid was returning this year. A very good running back for Clinton last year in their road to the state title. But Zy Butler stole the show, 104 yards on the ground and a touchdown.
Nice. I mean, like I said, running the ball, that's the key to the game. That's the key to winning. And, I mean, I'm sure Clinton coaches, they looked at all Lawrence film, and it was a lot of missed tackles. So if they got running backs, three of them that are running pretty good like that, why not? Keep running.
You got that right. And Lawrence, obviously, we'll get into keys of the game here in a few minutes. My favorite segment, because I get to let Thomas get to talk about how much he knows about football. But, you know, that probably will be something that returns in keys of the game. But moving on now, you know, on the defensive side of the ball last week, Chris Boyd kind of laid out, obviously, the majority of the tackles for the Clinton defense. He had 13 total a week ago. But Jaden Glenn was the one with the flashy stats on defense. The upperclassman middle linebacker had both a sack and an interception against Woodruff in that low-scoring contest.
Wow. You know, defense wins the game. You know, defense had to step up. You know, with the interception, I'm kind of nervous because we had Bragg. He threw 3 last week, but I know he's going to learn from those mistakes as well. But,
I think –
yeah.
No, go ahead. Finish what you got.
You know, I know he's going to learn from the mistakes. You know, he's a smart quarterback, and you can tell at a young age. So, again, you said, but with those guys playing the middle linebacker on Clinton's side, you know, making those kind of plays, that's exceptional. You know, that's what you need. But, you know, being a biased guy, I think we'll find a way.
I love that. And, you know, obviously some of the things you said had to go right early in the game last week did go right for Lawrence. But I think, you know, towards the end of that first half, the Raiders kind of started to take plays off, it looked like to me. I don't know, could be wrong, but it looked like some of those things that were going our way really stopped going our way, and that's why Hillcrest was able to run away with that one last week.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said, the bread and butter of that game last week was the run. You know, and once Hillcrest got momentum and was able to stop the run, I mean, that's just any level of the game, you know, from college on to the pro level. You know, if you're just stuck in a pass, you know, for the DBs, and also you give them a little cushion, you know, for the defensive backs, you're thinking, oh man, let's get a pick, let's take one to the crib, you know. And now I'm really, I know a pass is coming, so it just makes things a lot easier when you just eliminate the run game.
You got that right. Well, now we're going to get to our favorite segment of the day. It's time for Keys to the Game with Thomas Jones. What has to go right for the Raiders to come out on top tonight?
Honestly, I honestly think if they come out the same way they did against Hillcrest, they will be fine and able to establish the running game early and establish the running game all game, honestly, and just being able, like, really eliminating last week. You know, because I'm glad Clinton is the next game, because after a loss like that, because it's like, okay, I still have to come prepared and ready to show up for this game. So, again, smart defense. The defense has to be able to tackle. You can't allow miss open field tackles. The DBs have to be able to open on the boundaries. So, like I said, if they can establish a run game early, tackle in open field, oh man, things will look good for the Raiders.
Well, that's, you know, you had it right there. That was it. The Raiders are going to need to do a lot of those things, and probably more against a very superior opponent in the Clinton Red Devils. We have Lawrence. We have Clinton here from KC Hanna Stadium. You know, we are just about 40 minutes away from kickoff here on the Valvoline Express Care pregame show. And Thomas, the feeling starts getting to you a little bit. I'm sure that's on both sides. You got to think about it. It's been eating at you all week. It has been eating at me since Monday. Just thinking about getting back in the box and getting to call another game, but knowing that it's Clinton.
Yeah.
Like we get to call this game, and hopefully for years to come we get to call this game, because I promise you I'm gonna circle this one on my calendar.
Oh, for sure, man, for sure. Again, you think about it all week. I think the work starts Monday. Well, actually, Sunday. It starts Sunday. You start preparing, watching film as a player on that Sunday, just getting ready. And I say, kind of like you were telling me when you were talking to the LSU guy, the LSU voice. I think, you're mentally done by, like, the work is already put in by Wednesday. It's like it's like, okay, Thursday, walk through, Friday, let's go.
You're right. Obviously you had to be a guy of preparation playing pro ball as long as you did.
Mm-hmm.
How important is that preparation to your game? Not only in baseball, but obviously when you were out here playing football. You're a very successful football player. A lot of people forget about that sometimes because they want to think about pro ball.
Yep.
But ladies and gentlemen, Thomas Jones was no slouch on the football field. Kid was an all-state defensive back, as I intro with normally. But how important is that preparation, to obviously getting the outcome you want to get?
I think preparation is everything, because I think, in high school football mainly, it's more so like, I'm going to do whatever the coach says, But as a player, when you can take on, the individual aspect of the game, like, okay, I know when it comes down to 3rd and 5, they love to run this quick out. So if I can, as a cornerback or a safety, if I can kind of, let me take a few steps to the outer half and take away this quick out, or you're just kind of playing cat and mouse with the player, but also with their coach, because it's like, hey, I looked at film too. I'm just not going off what the coach highlighted. I know things too, so that makes things go a lot better and a lot smoother as well.
That's right, Thomas. And ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate your time here on the Valvoline Express Care pregame show. You're going to get to hear from Coach Porter next, and you'll get to catch me and Thomas at the start of kickoff here from KC Hanna Stadium. You were listening to Lawrence Raider football here on the Lawrence Raider Sports Network.
Hey, Raider fans. Planning a home makeover or ready to build your dream house? Brewington Contractors has your back. This family-owned, local trusted general contractor brings over 27 years of experience building custom homes, remodeling kitchens and baths, roofing, renovations, and more, all across South Carolina with integrity, fair pricing, and a friendly team you can count on. From start to finish, they're committed to quality, on-time completion, and your 100% satisfaction. Need a project done right? Call Brewington Contractors today at 8649-235-789 or visit brewingtoncontractors.us to get your quote. Brewington Contractors, raising your expectations one project at a time.
When it's game time, you can't afford delays, and the same goes for your car. At Valvoline Express Care in Lawrence, we get you in, out, and back on the road fast. No appointment needed. Just drive up and let our certified techs handle your oil change, fluid checks, and preventative maintenance with the care you can trust. Support the team that supports your Raiders. Valvoline Express Care, conveniently located right here in Lawrence on Hillcrest Drive. Drive in today to see Allen and drive out ready for the win.
GoLawrence.com is Lawrence County's daily source for news, sports, and community updates. From Raider scores to breaking stories, we've got it covered. And for local businesses, GoLawrence.com is the premier platform in Lawrence County to promote your business. Stay informed. Stay connected. GoLawrence.com, your source for Lawrence County news. Go Raiders.
Just like the Raiders, great teams start with a strong foundation. At Lawrence County Water and Sewer Commission, we're proud to provide clean, reliable water and essential services that keep our community thriving. Whether it's in your home, at your business, or right here under the Friday night lights, you can count on our team to deliver. Lawrence County Water and Sewer Commission, serving our neighbors today, building for tomorrow. From our team to yours, go Raiders!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Inside the Game with Coach Porter, Week 1 edition. Coach, how you feeling this week?
I feel good. Feel good.
Well, that's awesome to hear, Coach. Well, We'll talk a little bit about Hillcrest, and then we'll get into our new competition that's going to be our rivals, the Clinton Red Devils, this week. Well, Coach, starting with Hillcrest, that first half offense, especially the first start of the game, was, I don't know if you could ask for much more. How awesome is that to see from your young quarterback, and what does that tell you about what your offense has in store for the rest of the year?
Well, I tell you, it tell us that we have the potential to score, which was lacking last year. We was averaging only 5 points a game, and I think it was a personal shot to our kids that we're not going to do that this year. We're going to try to score as many points as we can each game, but 5 points a game was an embarrassment to our program last year. So I commend them for how they handled the pressure. That first drive was amazing. I was impressed with our ninth grade quarterback just navigating us down the field. But not just him. I just saw a lot of young players making plays and blocking for each other. And I think that's the culture that we're trying to build our program upon.
Well, that's awesome, Coach. Kind of another spark plug on offense this week was that offensive line. The offensive line has historically, the last few years, I'd say, kind of been sort of a weakness where teams have been able to penetrate us and our plays hadn't been able to be developed and such. Well, how big is that to see from I know an obviously older offensive line, but those guys are starting to kind of put that together for your squad?
Well, it was good for their confidence, and even though I probably grade them pretty hard, knowing that they haven't really quite got to that place where I want them at. But it was good because we have a ninth grade quarterback, and I think that's a little incentive to make sure the protection is correct and that we can handle the pressure that's coming. We still got some work to go. We're not there. We're not perfect yet, but I do see them trying to make the progress and to get better.
And finally, offensively, it's hard to miss what DeMaje Crooks brought to that offense with just some of the playmaking ability he had, especially early on in the game. What does that do for your freshman quarterback, just showing him that he's got a weapon like that guy he can go to at any time?
Well, that just shows the hours that we put in over the summer, traveling the 7-on-7s to Georgia, to South Carolina, to Charleston Southern. We just put our kids in a position where you had to get used to throwing and catching, because last year we ran the triple option, which really failed in our program. But seeing him transition from a running back to a wide receiver and really work on it, he's still growing in the craft of it, but it did a lot. I was impressed with Jaden Williams, who also did most of the blocking last year, and then he had an opportunity to really make a big statement against Hillcrest, and he showed up, and I was very proud of him as well.
Well, let's move over a little bit defensively, Coach. Started out a little bit slow on the defensive side of the football, but those guys around the end of that second quarter, half of that second quarter to starting the third quarter, those guys really showed what that defense could be about. Talk to me about those guys. Tell me what kind of confidence they were able to get from, I guess, a little bit of success right there, and what you need to work on in the games coming forward.
Well, Coach Starter and the staff has done a tremendous job. Just really trying to help the kids. Just really only about 2 or 3 returning football players that played defense on the varsity level last year. Most of those kids played JV. 90% of them played JV. So that was a big challenge for them. Learning how to stop the run. I felt like we had some issues there, but the weather, the field conditions, to me, didn't really show what the score really, reflect how we was playing. But we did have some breakdowns and just gap integrity that we need to fix this week, which I believe that's what the staff worked on to give us a better chance this upcoming game.
Well, that's awesome, Coach. Obviously, we got the big one this week against the arch rival Clinton Red Devils. It's a very important game to this community. It's a very important game to a lot of upstate football. A lot of people keep up with it. It's Lawrence Clinton. It's always been Lawrence Clinton. Coach, talk to me about the expectations for this week, what you expect your team to do. Obviously, you're facing the reigning 2A state champs, but they struggled in Woodruff last week. Not to take anything away from Woodruff, as they are a top 5 team in 3A. But does that give your guys some confidence in trying to break this streak of the run that's Clinton's been on against the Raiders the last 4 or 5 years. How do you plan on stopping that? And just talk about the expectations for this week.
Well, the expectation is not beat ourselves with penalties and turnovers, unlike we did in the Hillcrest game. You can't play a state championship team. Corey Fenton's done a tremendous job with the culture and just continuing the tradition that Clinton has already had, just really resurrecting it back. But when you play teams like that, you can't have the turnovers, the mental mistakes, the drop passes. Every play, everything has to be calculated, and we have to play a perfect game nearby, So it's big for our community. It's big for our kids. Last year I felt like we started off the game pretty well, and unfortunately in that game we lost both of our starting quarterbacks. That was down for about 4 weeks. That really put the program in a hole last year. So there's some things, we can't afford to do, but there's some things you can't control. It's out of your hands. I'm expecting our team to come out there and play physical, play fast, and play with heart and character, because Clinton is a good team, and they're coming off a loss, so they're going to come in really edgy, and so do we got to meet energy with energy.
You got that right, Coach. Well, obviously, Clinton's got the star power and running back Javen Cook and offensive lineman Trey Aiken. They have two. Those are just two of the big names they have. But last week, Clinton kind of had the show taken away from Cook, and a younger running back kind of took over. So there's a running back tandem in Clinton. The run is what you've talked about as needing to be stopped. Obviously, great game from Josh Smith last week. How important is it that we're able to stop that rushing attack that Clinton's definitely going to use against us this week?
It's very important, because once you establish the run game, you have everything open up for you. Play action, passes, everything opens up for you. It controls the clock of the game. And I've always said teams that can run the football and teams that can stop the run always have an opportunity to be in the state championship game. And it proves with the Clinton football program. Like I say, they run a unique offensive system. They're very physical. The line is very strong.
PRTC is a proud supporter of the Lawrence Raider football team, the Raider Band, and the Raider Cheerleaders. We have been your local telecommunications provider for over 70 years. PRTC is committed to keeping our community connected. From dependable high-speed internet to crystal-clear phone service, our team right here in Lawrence stands ready to keep homes, businesses, and Raider fans online and in touch under the Friday night lights and beyond. PRTC, serving Lawrence County with hometown values and cutting-edge communications. Go Raiders.
Looking for out-of-this-world fun right here in Lawrence? Big Air Lawrence has you covered. Jump into action with all attractions included, plus daily deals like 2 for Tuesdays, Midday Madness, and Cosmic Night every Friday and Saturday with black lights, bass, and nonstop excitement. Planning a birthday or a group event? Big Air makes it easy with customizable party packages and group rates for up to 400 jumpers. Big Air Lawrence, where the whole community comes to play. Visit bigairusa.com/Lawrence for details. And as always, go Raiders.
Back with more on the Valvoline Express Care pregame show presented by Self Regional Healthcare on the Lawrence Raiders Sports Network.
Gentlemen, welcome back to the Valvoline Express Care pregame show. Jackson Edwards, Thomas Jones here bringing you all the action live from Casey Hanna Stadium. We're going to get into the starting lineups now. First for the visiting Clinton Red Devils today on defense. Starting at defensive end will be Kanias Williams. In the middle will be R.J. Johnson and a Daryl Swindler. And at the other end will be number 12, Noah Garrett. The linebacker core today will be number 24, Javian James, number 1, Jaden Glenn, number 8, A.Z. Simmons. And in the secondary today, starting at free safety, will be Mason Tinsley, number 13. The other safety will be number 7, Chris Boyd. And at corner today, we'll have a pair of number 15, Bryson Perrin, and number 5, Amari Grant. That rounds out the offense for the Red Devils, or the defense, excuse me. Now moving on to the offense. Starting at quarterback will be number 10, Owen Glenn. At running back, they'll have a trio of running backs, as stated before earlier in the pregame show. Angelo Cromer, number 4, number 18, Zy Butler, and number 3, Javen Cook. The two receivers that will be seeing time at wide receiver today will be number 7, Chris Boyd, and number 17, Mason Tinsley, both whom will also play safety. And on the offensive line, obviously highlighted by their big-time left tackle, number 70, Trey Aiken, the NC State commit. They have number 72 at left guard, Jared Honeycutt. At center, number 50, Brody Garrett. At right guard, number 61, Ashton Sherfield. And at right tackle, number 52, Jace Patterson. Doing the kicking today will be Matty Brown and Pablo Hernandez, and punting will be Owen Glenn. Now, Thomas, we're going to get into the starting lineup we want to hear about as Raider fans. They will start with the defense. The Raiders are going to switch it up a little bit on defense. Obviously going to go to 4 guys on that defensive line. It's going to be the DNs today will be Rylan Paxton and Elias Stroud. And in the middle, Elias's brother Jordan Stroud, the senior. And at the other D tackle position will be Isai Hernandez. The linebacker trio today will be Corey Williams, Jamarian Rice, and Logan Martin. And the defensive backs today for the Raiders will be at corner number 13, Q Watts. The other side, the other boundary will be Zamar Jones, who will wear 6. The two safeties today will be number 16, Corey Stevens, and number 8, Brandy Hill. Thomas, what bounces out at you today for either starter on either team, and you know who's going to make some noise in tonight's contest?
Well, not a person per se, I'm about to say, but just Lawrence going to 4 guys up front. That right there, that should be the trending topic. That should be trending on Twitter right now. You know, 3, because, you know, I was biting my tongue a lot last week when I saw 3 down linemen. I'm just like, okay, you know, I'm sure they got some, you know, some dogs at 3. But it's, I mean, not knocking those guys, but, you know, 4 guys, there we go. Now we talking.
That's more back to your football right there,
yeah,
right?
it's any football.
Well, yeah, as you know, as we did state, the Raiders will change up that defensive front, going away from 3 and instead opting to play 4. And obviously a story there will be Rylan Paxton, the new guy that they kind of got to come out. He's been a baseball guy, and, you know, big arm for them. Mm-hmm. But he's going to get out and get a little action at DN. I know they've been begging him to play a lot the last few years of his high school career.
Man, that's awesome. You know, like I said, both of us are baseball guys, but, you know, just having him, because he's a strong guy, man. He squats the house. You know, I've seen videos of him. Good kid. You know, I'm glad he's out here. So, like I said, hopefully he makes some noise. Hopefully, you know, football may be a thing for him where it's like, dang, I like football more than baseball. I'm joking. But, you know, you never know. You never know.
Well, I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, right now we are going to pan it to the band on the field. We have Raider Band joined with the Clinton Red Devil Marching Band as well out on the field tonight. We're going to pan it to them for a second, and we will catch you right after that.
For the safety of everyone, all Suarez children must remain under adult supervision throughout the entirety of tonight's game. Also, there is to be no congregating in front of the restroom. This area is to be kept clear for concession line. We would like to wish students from both schools good luck. We encourage all spectators to remember that good sportsmanship is expected at LDHS and KC Stadium as we set good examples for our students, players, and everyone in attendance. We rely on all spectators as the game is competitive, but also an educational experience for all players and students. Let's continue to show respect and sportsmanship throughout tonight's contest and refrain from negative cheers, chants, and behavior. The score of an athletic event is generally forgotten over time, but the actions of contestants, coaches, and spectators are remembered. So make the choice to be remembered for good sportsmanship, and that in the end, good sports are always a winner. And if you would turn your attention to the 50-yard line, where tonight's game ball is being officially presented to the referee, but it did not arrive here by chance. Yesterday, the Clinton High School cross-country team kicked off the annual game ball run tradition by running the game ball from Clinton High to Farmers Furniture. From there, the Lawrence District 55 cross-country team carried it the rest of the way to the stadium. Representing the Clinton High Red Devils were Coach Luke Atkinson and Melissa Brewer, Adam Walford, and Richard Santiago. Representing the LDHS Raiders were Coach Walton Jordan and seniors Cody Patterson and Austin McCall. Let's give a big round of applause to both cross-country teams for keeping this tradition alive and showing true school spirit.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. You know, I don't really know what's going down on the field. We thought the band was coming out to play. They're in a little stalemate, it looks like. Jackson Edwards, Thomas Jones, here on the Lawrence Raider Sports Network. You know, Thomas, we just got to watch the cross-country teams present the head referee for tonight's contest with the game ball. So I say we just go ahead and start playing now.
I agree. I agree. You know, It's no shame on the band. You know, I was actually a band member myself in middle school. I played the baritone, so shout out to the band. I was nice with it, too.
Shoot, I believe it. I believe it, ladies and gentlemen. Thomas Jones, baritone player. Look it up. I'm sure he's got some film somewhere. As now, I believe we have the band as the stands or the people in the stands have risen for, I believe, the playing of the anthem or something. But, you know, Thomas's place is packed in.
It is.
They're starting to come in on both. Well, Clinton side is packed in over there. Obviously, there's not nearly as many seats as we have over here, but both sides are definitely doing their due diligence to make this crowd big.
Yep, I agree.
So at this time, ladies and gentlemen, now we are going to pan it over to the bands here. Lawrence and Clinton both here in the middle of KC Hanna Stadium. We'll catch you after the action.
We welcome the Raider family and our visitors to the Clinton Red Devils. We hope you need good news to you. As you cheer on your team tonight, remember here at Lawrence District 55 High School, sportsmanship is an expectation. So please, let the players play, the coaches coach, and the officials officiate. We hope that all fans will show their enthusiasm in a positive way. It's a wonderful night to be together, and we hope you enjoy it. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day and for the chance for us to gather together for the joy of competition that brings us here. Bless the players on both teams, keep them safe from injury, guide them to play with strength, fairness, and respect. Bless the coaches, referees, and everyone who makes this game possible. Help us as spectators to cheer with good sportsmanship, to encourage with kindness, and to celebrate the spirit of community this game creates. May this be a time of fun, fellowship, and unity. In your holy name we pray, amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Valvoline Express Care pregame show. You just heard the anthem from both Raider Band and the Clinton Red Devil Band. Thomas, you know, it's in the air now.
Oh,
the anthem's been played. So, you know, obviously it gets you one step closer as the alma mater has been played. Well, I'll tell you what, Thomas, it completely slipped my mind earlier that I needed to announce the starters on offense as well for the Lawrence Raiders. I didn't do that. So first mistake of the day for me is that. So, you know, obviously on offense, the offensive line is going to be identical from left tackle to right tackle. Obviously, Randy Flanagan, Cody Haynes, MJ Sales, Logan Galt, and Marcus Thurman will do the dirty duty in the trenches tonight for the Raiders. At wide receiver tonight, we are going to have Jaden Williams at the X. At the wide receiver, here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Braden Patterson returns to action tonight. Braden Patterson and Braden Yarbrough are both listed as starters at that receiver. And then obviously in the slot, our guy, Demaje Crooks, is going to be doing a lot of the work, but also Caleb Gilchrist is listed as a potential starter for the Lawrence Raiders. In the backfield, they've listed one starter at running back this week. It's going to be Denari Lee Jackson getting the majority of the touches. You know, obviously he rushed near 90 yards last week, getting about 15, 16 carries. And then there he is, the young freshman, Logan Bragg, going to be the signal caller tonight for the Raiders.
Yes, I love it. I love it.
Anything stick out to you about offense tonight?
Of course, BP, you know, Braden Patterson, man. I know I talked to him last week right before the Hillcrest game, and I asked him, because you know, his dad had told me that he was injured. You know, I was asking him which shoulder it was and whatever, but he was telling me he's ready. You know, he was telling me, he was like, man, I really want to play tonight. And I was like, man, take your time. You're still young. Let it heal properly. But, you know, I'm glad he's out here. You know, so this is a big game to be back at. So, you know what I'm saying, that adds depth to the receiver room. Like I said, we have a guy that can get it to him, so I love that.
You're right, Thomas. Definitely have a guy that can get him the football this year. Braden was our leading receiver in the majority categories last year for receivers. You know, obviously we ran a quite different offense last year. Coach Porter's talked about it a lot, that triple option. You know, something that Coach Liner actually ran here a few years when Ryan Campbell was under center for the Raiders. Coach Adams Dean, who now is at Thornwell, brought that back last year when he came back as the offensive coordinator, and he's now there. So the Raiders have now resorted to going back to more of a spread, and Coach Porter's calling the plays. So now you kind of get to let your playmakers make plays, because that's where they are this year, receiver rather than running back.
Yes, for sure. You know, I'm a big stickler when it comes to the spread offense, man. I love the spread offense. You know, running the ball, it's effective. You know, I've said this clearly before earlier. I was like, you know, if the run is working, do it. But, you know, man, it's really boring. Put the ball in the air, man. It's 2025, man. We want to see the ball in the air. Like,
well, here's the thing, though, Thomas. You know just as well as I do with how good of a caliber running back we have in Lee Jackson. That definitely opens up the field for him when we're able to throw the ball at will.
Yes, for sure.
So he's able to make a lot more plays. But as you said, Tom, starting to pack in a little bit tonight. We're starting to get some fans here in Casey Hanna Stadium. But, you know, Thomas, there's one section to the left of you. You know, that section hadn't been right in a few years, man.
Oh, man. You know, it's a lot better than it was last week. But we're at home, and it's still kind of weak. You know, you know what? If it's a scale to 1 out of 10, I give them a 5. You know, it's okay.
Just average. But as you know, you see the Red Devil students that travel as well. Kind of like that Lawrence student section last week looks like over there for Clinton, students-wise. Yeah. So. But here we go, Thomas. They're starting to line up. I think the Red Devils and Raiders are both preparing to come out now. You know, Thomas, again, we're getting even closer. It's starting to come. It's like I just took a scoop of pre-workout or something. I don't know. The Raiders and Red Devils are getting ready to battle it out here at Casey Hanna Stadium. And, you know, we're going to bring it all to you here. Whether that be good, whether that be bad, we hope you stick with us the entirety of the night and get to hear some of Thomas's jokes later in the game. You have to stick around. Those normally start flying about the third quarter. So
You're right.
But, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you as always. As now the teams do look to be taking the field. I'll tell you what, Thomas, this has been a thing. We are way ahead on the broadcast. It was like this last week, too. It's like we're just waiting on people to do something. It's like, come on, guys.
I know. You know, again, like I said last week again, Lawrence, we don't show up on time. We show up to impress, you know. So, like I said, it's always on their time. So, again, we're on time. You know, I appreciate that. We're punctual. You know, our boss here, we might chop one of our fingers off. Nah, I'm just
Yeah, you might be right.
Yeah.
I'm the one sitting closest to him, so it might be mine before yours.
Yeah, I got time to take a few steps before you get to me. So.
Well, Thomas, the Red Devils are now walking out on the track. Today, the Red Devils will send out at the coin toss. Their captains will be number 70, Trey Aiken, number 55, Daryl Swindler, number 1, Jaden Glenn, and number 12, Noah Garrett. We will get the Raider captains here in a second. Whenever they will come out the tunnel, obviously early to go to the coin flip. Well, Thomas, I'll tell you what. You see that Clinton mascot over there? It hadn't gotten any better.
You know what? I can't see it because I truly don't believe in the devil. So
There
can't
you go.
See it, you know?
There you go. That's a good one. That's a good one. Well, you know, the students are starting to come in a little bit. I'll tell you what. I've seen pictures. It looked like they put on a pretty cool pep rally
Really?
this week. You know, they did some cool stuff. They apparently body slammed the Red Devil on campus. I don't know how they got away with that one. But ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we're going to take it to the sideline for an Angela Marlette sideline report with Mr. Andrew Corley. Andrew, it's getting about that time. How we feeling out there?
Oh, it's getting about that time. It's good to see the band out here. It's good to be at home. After last week at Hillcrest, it's good to see the stands start to fill up. But captains are on their way out. We're getting ready to go. Looking forward to a good night.
You got that right, Andrew. Well, I think Thomas has some questions for you up here about Taylor Swift before this game gets started.
Oh, yeah. Y'all said you had time to kill. Lay it on me. Let's go.
Yeah, man. Do you know? Are you invited to the wedding? I hear there. You know, a few people from Lawrence got an invitation already.
If I was invited to the wedding, you would know about it already. There would not be anyone who wouldn't have heard that. But
I know that's right.
We'll see. No, yeah. Kids. Yeah.
That's Andrew Corley, ladies and gentlemen. As the Raider captains have finally come out now, they will be number 8, Brandy Hill, number 11, Logan Martin, number 5, Jaden Williams, and number 50, Jordan Stroud will be the captains today for your Lawrence Raiders. As the coin flip brought to you by Bucks Auto Sales is about to take place. And we will give you the decision as soon as we find out. I'll tell you what, Thomas, it's fun watching Andrew. He's already out there. He's gonna get it to us before anybody else out there.
I think he might flip the coin.
Ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Corley out there. Our team truly wouldn't be what it was without him, and we appreciate him for all he does. So he's out there doing all the hard work right now, going out there. You know, I guess if a coach doesn't really like what he's doing, he's got to get the earful instead of us. So, and most of the time it's us asking him a question to ask them. So, it's really our fault getting him in trouble.
Tough job he has.
But I'm trying to read that Clinton's. That's actually one of the more nicer banners I think Clinton's ever made about Lawrence. This place is about to glow. You know, I'll tell you what, Thomas, back when we were in school, I don't know if our banner would have been that nice when we were running out at Wilder Stadium.
No, man, no. You gotta throw in a little shade here and there, you know.
Especially against the rivals, man.
For
It's
sure.
the county championship,
It's
Thomas.
all love at the end of the day.
Yeah, we say that.
Yeah, we do. We say that.
As ladies and gentlemen, the coin toss has been ensued. We're waiting to hear. As we're going to pan it down to an Angela Marlette sideline report with Andrew Corley, and he's going to give us the Bucks Auto Sales coin toss results. Andrew, tell us what happened down there.
All right, fellas, the Raiders have won the toss, and they will receive. We will get the ball to start this game.
I'll tell you what, Thomas. I like to see it. Coaches being aggressive. Give me the ball first. Let's go score again. How about that?
Hey, I agree, man. Let's do it. Let's do it.
As you know, you hope the Raiders kind of start out just big time today. As let's see what the Raider cheerleaders. This is our county. I'll tell you what, Thomas. Still a little nice though. Like
super nice.
As here come the Red Devils. They're gonna break out of their little banner there. And I saw the mascot about trip and fall, but here they come. The hometown boys. The Lawrence Raiders. They're coming out there taking the field to their fight song. Thomas, this one is going to be a good one.
It is.
I truly believe it. The Raiders are going to come out hot.
They are, man. They are. They look ready. They're back in the old school helmets. You know, the green did look good last week, but they're back in the old school. So, you know, let's hear some loud noises up here. I want to see the defense flying around, man. I'm excited to see the defense.
You're right. And like you said, well, no, not like you said. We hadn't got to that point yet, but your boy down there, Coach Boyd, he's already just getting animated with everybody.
Yeah, man. He got the black glasses on, can't see his eyes. I don't know. He kind of resembles Ray Charles right now, you know?
I hope he doesn't go back and listen to us commentate on these football games because we give him so much shade.
I hope he does, you know.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Coach Boyd, our receivers coach here, Lawrence High School, just another awesome coach that we have on staff. Is student section starting to fill in a little bit. Here come the students. As Andrew said, the Raiders have elected to receive, and Clinton will be on defense first here at Casey Hanna Stadium. You know, I'll tell you what, when you're at home, I normally like to just go ahead and kick it to the other team, let your hometown fans get on their feet and get loud and make some noise. I'd like to see that from the Raider fans this year at home. Make it a true home atmosphere.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know, and it's always beneficial. You know, especially when you have the crowd with you. They're loud. You know, giving it a tough time for the opposing team to, you know, kind of get anything going. So that's always a great feeling if they can get into it.
You're right. As this kickoff is brought to you by Valvoline Express Care, the Raiders will have DeMaje Crooks back deep to receive. It's not going to DeMaje for the first time on a return as that ball's dropped. Just got to fall on it. They're going to pick it up as number 21, Denari Lee Jackson, will be tackled down at the 24. You made something out of nothing right there. That was almost really bad.
It was. It was.
As nevertheless, here he comes, the freshman quarterback, number 12, Logan Bragg, leading the charge for the Raiders on offense today. Thomas, what do you need to see from the young quarterback to get his job done here?
I really want him to just slow the game down. I know, again, this is his first game against Clinton, but I really want him to slow the game down. Don't pressure anything. Just don't throw it up, hoping for the wide receiver to catch it. Just trust it, you know.
Williams in motion. They're going to run a jet sweep as he's tackled down in the backfield by number 51, R.J. Johnson.
And that's just up front. You know, Clinton, they truly got off the ball a lot faster than Lawrence did. But, you know, Lawrence, they have to play physical. This is going to be a physical game. I'm sure there's a lot of talking down there, too.
Yeah, I'm sure there is, too. But like you said, it's going to be real physical. Which team in the trenches is going to be more physical is definitely going to be a big one this game.
Yes.
So, Thomas, you know, obviously Raiders coming out here in a lot of trips receiver sets here to the right. Single back is Lee Jackson to the right. As Bragg back to throw, He's got no time as Clinton is all over him, and he's sacked down to the ground by number 44, Kanias Williams.
Yeah, man, they're flying off the ball really fast. It's right now, the offense, the line they're looking very flat-footed right now.
It's a lot different than last week. We kind of won that battle up front, I feel like.
We did.
Especially on offense. Maybe not defense, but on offense, we definitely were winning that part of the ball. As Clinton looks big in the middle, though.
They do. They look really big.
Bragg takes a third down snap, looking to a screen play. He's got a receiver. As that is number 0, Braden Patterson, making his first catch of the year. He's going to gain about 5 or 6, but nowhere near the sticks. It's going to be 4th and long for the Raiders here on that 3rd down and 22.
And that actually wasn't a bad play call. You know, just something to kind of get away from your end zone, get a good punt. You know, hopefully our punter can get a good kick out there. So
that's right. It's 10 minutes and 13 seconds and ticking left in the first quarter. It's 4th and 17. The Raiders will punt it from their own 18-yard line. Franklin to punt. Clinton's back there real fast, but the punt is underway. It's not a terrible one. He's going to get a good Lawrence bounce. It's going to be returned by number 7, Chris Boyd, but he is tackled down at the Raiders' 45-yard line. Raiders are going to they're going to have very tough field positioning against the Red Devils here on their first drive. Obviously, Clinton's going to come out with all those running backs, and obviously their prized possession in being their offensive line. It's going to be good, and obviously they are star-studded by number 70, Trey Aiken.
Trey Aiken, yeah. Wolfpack commit. You know, he's a good guy.
As there's a pitch now.
Whole outside containment.
As there is a
nice
pitch to number 3, Javen Cook. Raiders rally to the ball, still giving up around 5 yards a carry. That is 5 yards. It'll be 2nd and 5 from the 40. I'll tell you what, Thomas, cannot let those big gains start happening early.
No, not at all. You know, you definitely want to hold that down. But, you know, even with that gain, I'm still impressed just by the tackle that the cornerback made. I'm really impressed with that. So we can keep that up. We'll be in perfect shape.
That's right. As now in the backfield, it'll be number 18, Zy Butler, the star-studded player of the week. As they hand it off to Cook. Cook is tackled. He's going to get past the sticks, picking up a first down for the Red Devils. And they're going to move the chains. It will be 1st and 10 for the Red Devils. They will take their next snap, inside 35, call it the 34. Owen Glenn with a single back to his right. That'll be number 18, Zy Butler. They are going to hand it to Butler. Butler, though, has got a lot of Raiders around him. Raiders are going to get to him.
Nice.
A gain of 2 on the ground.
And this is truly a tricky offense that Clinton runs. You know, you really have to be disciplined because, you know, just a matter of fact whether the quarterback keeps it, you know, or, you know, with a little play action and you have some running backs running out the backfield. So I feel like the secondary has to play discipline, but at the same time, you know, when you see the running back, you got to be able to make the tackle.
That's right. As you know, obviously early on, at least we didn't give up a big play on the first play of the game.
You're right about that. That's one positive.
So the Raiders are going to load the box. It's going to be handed off to number 3, Javen Cook. He's got the edge, and he is going to turn the corner as he is down inside the 15, down to, we'll call it around the 12.
And Clinton does a really good job at containing the edge, you know, blocking on the edge. One thing Lawrence has to do with that, you know, blocking on the edge, you really have to hit it. So a blocker coming, you just got to hit him in the mouth, you know, just to eliminate a blocker.
That's right. As Lawrence got him out a little bit earlier. They got him out of bounds at the 15. So there is now a handoff as that is number 4, Angelo Cromer on the carry.
Good tackle.
8:06 left in the first quarter here as Cromer is going to carry that one for 2 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 8 now from the 13. Clinton Shirley's taking their time out of these huddles. They're really taking their time in the huddle. They're breaking the huddle and coming to the line of scrimmage as Clinton's still in that wing T type offense. As that one's going to be a pitch. And what a tackle out there by number 80. Great tackle by Rylan Paxton.
Baseball guy.
There it is, a great tackle by Paxton. And the Red Devils are going to be facing 3rd down and not manageable. It's going to be around like a 3rd down and 7, so it's going to be a tough 3rd down for the Devils. As chain crew is out there, those Lawrence guys on the visiting side of the field.
I would truly see something going to the outside. Yeah.
There they go.
The quarterback
keeper. They're going to get there. We arm tackle, miss a tackle. And like you said, you got to be disciplined.
You have to be disciplined. You have to be disciplined. I know it's easy to cut down that tackle, but you have to contain that outside. You want to stay out there.
As it will be 1st and goal from the 3-yard line. Red Devils driving with 7:02 left in the quarter, 0-0 if you're just joining us. As again, taking their time, getting their plays from the sideline. I thought Lawrence looked really small as a football team, but Clinton really looks smaller.
Yeah.
They have no players.
No players, man. I don't know what it is, man. Football just isn't a thing in Lawrence County anymore.
As there is the handoff to number 3, Javen Cook. And Cook is going to waltz into the end zone. Clinton strikes first here at Casey Hanna Stadium with 6:50 left. The Red Devils find the end zone. Cook did that once last weekend. Last Friday, as the Red Devils will bring on, I believe that's number 84, Pablo Hernandez, to kick the extra point. As I'm a little confused on this, actually. They'll
run back to it.
They'll just run back to the set, I believe.
I call this eyewash football.
They will have a center, and here they come into the extra point formation. Holding for the Red Devils will be number 13, Mason Tinsley. Hernandez to add on the PAT. Is that looked like it's a fumble on the play? Raiders are looking to get on it as that could cost them later in the game. People forget about that. The extra point's important.
Oh, it's very important. It's very important because later down the line, you have to go for 2.
As with that play, we're going to take a quick break here on the Lawrence Raider Sports Network.
Furman Ford is a proud supporter of Lawrence Raider football. We are your hometown Ford. Furman Ford is a proud supporter of Lawrence Raider football. We are your hometown Ford dealer that knows you by name and is here for your vehicle purchasing and service needs. Whether it's buying a new or pre-owned car or getting your current vehicle repaired and road ready, a member of the Furman Ford team is here to assist. Shop today and experience the difference that a true family-owned business can make. Furman Ford is a locally owned and operated business that has supported Lawrence County and Raider football since 2003. Furman Ford is the place to go for your next vehicle purchase or if your vehicle needs repairs. No big corporate pressure, just hometown folks here to serve your needs. Furman Ford. East Main Street in Lawrence.
Back to live coverage of Raider football on the Lawrence Raiders Sports Network, presented by Self Regional Healthcare.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're back here from Casiana Stadium. The Raiders will look to receive this kickoff from Pablo Hernandez. As up here in the box, Thomas had some views on it. Looks like Braden Patterson looks a little banged up. We're going to probably get something from Andrew Corley here in a little bit. We will pin it to him in a second. But before that, here's the kick from Hernandez. It's kicked, and they will kick it away from DeMaze Crooks once again. But returning will be Travion Robinson, who's going to break a tackle. He's going to be past the 25. Great return up to the 27. At this time, we're going to pan it down to an Angela Marlette sideline report from Andrew Corley. Andrew, tell us what's going on with BP.
Yeah, guys, Braden is out of pads. He is back in a sling. Came off after that hit on third down, last offensive drive. It looks like he is done for the night.
Well, we'll keep you updated on anything else we find out. If anything else Andrew finds out along the lines of how long he's going to be out, is there is trips to the right here. Bragg in the shotgun, as it looks like Lee Jackson is behind him in the backfield. It will be a pitch to Denari. Denari is going to get the corner. He's going to break one tackle. Carry of, it looks about like 3 yards on the ground. Denari's going to cross the 30.
A fan of the play call, actually. I just, with the running back, just getting that toss like that, you just want to cut it up. You want to get straight downhill as fast as possible. The more you cut it down to the side, you're just giving the defense time to run to you. So
I think you're right, Thomas. We got to get our playmakers the ball in space.
For sure.
As they're going to fake the pitch this time. Bragg's going to roll out to his left. He's going to dump it off to a receiver, Braden Yarborough.
Great play call.
Great bootleg call, as you said. They're going to be right near the sticks. Are they going to get it? They are given the first down. It looks like that's a very generous spot for the Raiders.
It is. We're at home.
Yeah, I'll tell you that. But, the Raiders pick up the first down. That is a first down brought to you by Self Regional Healthcare. Raiders will have a tight end set in here, 3 receivers. They are going to hand it to Denari Lee Jackson. He's going to get outside. He's going to break one.
Nice.
Shifty run there from Denari.
Great run.
A pickup of 5 yards on the ground from Denari Lee Jackson.
I love the fact that he's cutting it back up. That's one thing. You're gaining more yards the more you cut it back upfield. I mean, the defender, he did his job by keeping him outside, but that's just a great athletic play by the running back.
Well, one thing I've heard from him is he's been really particular in practice this week about the non-fumbling. He had 2 last week, and I know that hurt him. He is a very valuable running back because they can't get set, but they're going to hand it to Lee Jackson right up the gut.
That's the first down.
Just pounding it up the middle is Denari Lee Jackson right there. Another great game. Great run. I mean, he hits the hole, and he does very well at it. So as Lee Jackson will pick up the first down himself, he'll stay out there. The Raiders are going to pull out number 17, Price Turner, and go to a 3-receiver look as Rodney Conway checks in for the Raiders. Trips to the left at the bottom of your screen here, as here comes the snap. Clinton's going to bring pressure. They're bringing a lot as there's a screen play. Great block by the receiver, but Rodney Conway is going to pick up about 2 or 3. You're right. Great play call.
Great play call. I really wouldn't be surprised Clinton to get a lot of neutral zone infractions this game because I think they just mixed one. They missed one on that one. So
it looks like they're lining up close. You
Yeah,
might be
they
right. As the Raiders, though, are going to gain 3 yards. Rodney Conway making his first catch of the year. He had 1 target a week ago. As Jaden Williams checks back in, the freaking mammoth of a receiver out here on the outside. There's another pitch to Lee Jackson. Clinton's going to rally to that one, though. I think the Raiders hopefully get back to the ball. It looks like they might have lost one. Got to see here is it looks like it'll be 3rd and 7 or 3rd and 8 here. 3rd down and 8 is our PA announcer. Mr. Ira Beatonball lets us know. 4 minutes and 37 seconds left in the first quarter. Clinton leads at 6-0 as they did miss a PAT. Lawrence in jeopardy. They need to pick up a first down right here.
They're open right now. I would.
No call there.
That was definitely a missed call.
There's a roll. Looks like a hold, and that's coming back as green grass in front of them. As that play's coming back, though. It's going to be holding, and I think we know who that one was against.
Oh, for sure, man. They whoever this official crew is, maybe they'll wake up. Maybe we need to give them some caffeine, but again, they missed it against us. But man, but just got to get back locked in. We'll be fine.
That's right. As the Raiders will be backed up 10 yards from the spot of the foul now. It's going to be a long way to the sticks now, as they have now backed all the way back up onto their side of the field. They'll take this snap from their own 41-yard line. Raiders need a 3rd down pickup right here. It's going to be tough. It's a tough ask. They have about double the sticks. This is probably around, or it's 3rd and 18.
If they could just get back to the 50, that's a win. Maybe just get back to the 50 and, not a first down. But
they're going to fake it, looking deep over the middle of the field, over the head of his intended receiver, number 81, Braden Yarborough. Right play, right read. Just got to get that ball down.
Yeah, agree. Because right now they're definitely eyeing Crooks. One, they definitely got the safety shifted more over top of him. So again, the right read, that would have been a great play if Yarborough would have came down with it. But again, keep going at it, keep trusting it, keep going at those plays because they're gonna work.
That's right. As it'll be Brock Franklin to punt away for his 2nd time. Back deep for the Red Devils will be number 7, Chris Boyd. Franklin, the snap, they're not even going to come after him this time, so he's going to punt it. That one's going to be a little bit shorter than his last one, as that's going to bounce a little bit. The Raiders will down it at the Clinton 33-yard line. We're going to take a quick break here. You're listening to Lawrence Raider Football here on the Lawrence Raider Sports Network.
Shopping for car insurance is confusing. Holy cow.
Great. Now we have a cow in our kitchen. Why did you say that?
Because I don't know what coverage to choose.
So just say the State Farm jingle. A State Farm agent can go over all your options with you and help choose coverage that meets your needs. Dude, cow, could you move?
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Angela Marlette is your local State Farm agent in Lawrence. Call or visit for a free quote.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Jackson Edwards, Thomas Jones, bringing you the content here from KC Hanna Stadium. Thomas, obviously 2 drives, no first downs. What are your thoughts on that?
Don't overthink it. As I feel like as a team, just continue to go out there and play your game. Things don't start off the way you want it to all the time, but just continue to play the game.
You're right, as Zy Butler will take that carry up the middle. Raiders rally into the football. Maybe it is something with that 4-down lineman.
Oh, for sure. Oh yeah. If anybody could have asked me, hey Thomas, what do you think? Add another down lineman. Come on, man. You got to do it. It definitely helps out a little bit because you're putting a lot of pressure on your linebackers and your secondary to make a tackle.
As it does still look like the Raiders are in cover 3 with that 1 safety shell.
Yes.
As they're going to fake the pitch, they're going to roll to throw. Wide open receiver is number 17, Grady Watkins. As, the Red Devils get a huge gain picking up the first down there, Thomas.
Yeah, that's just, again, for that cornerback, I just truly think, again.
As there is a flag, though, Thomas. Hold there. They're going to call an ineligible receiver there.
I like that because you'll probably see that a lot. I mean, because, again, with that, with the play action a lot, Clinton runs the ball a lot, I'm sure a lineman will get down the field a good bit.
You're right, as they did get the lineman down the field there. Raiders will get a gift there. It'll now be 2nd and 12. Clinton now behind the sticks. They need to take advantage right here, Thomas.
Yeah, they do, and we need it.
As Clinton now will have both receivers to the right of the quarterback at the bottom of your screen. Still in that wing tee, they are going to quarterback keeper as well.
Hey, that's a hit. That's a hit, and that's a momentum bringer right there. That's a momentum bringer right there.
What a play there. But that's our guy,
Yeah.
Jamarian Rice.
Yeah, ready. And with that kind of hit, you pick him up, throw him down, and walk over him and say, come back.
What a play by our last week's defensive player of the game, Jamarian Rice. Now, Clinton, though, 3rd down and 7, as they are going to give it to the outside, though, as there is close. But did he get there? I don't know if he did.
I don't think he got it. Did he get it? Yeah, he got it.
It's going to be close to the sticks. As the side judge wasn't close to that spot. As they're going to gift Clinton a first down right there. That is not a good spot, Thomas.
It's not. I don't agree with that spot at all.
As Angelo Cromer on the carry there picks up the first down for the Red Devils. 2 receivers at the top of your screen, still in that wing tee. They're going to throw it out to the screen. It's going to be Chris Boyd, and that's going to be a big play for the Red Devils, picking up yet another first down. 2 big plays. As 2:38 left in the game, 6-0 in favor of the visiting Red Devils. A timeout on the field. At this timeout, we're going to take a chance. We're going to pin it down to the sideline real fast for an Angela Marlette sideline report. Andrew, do you have anything else for us on our guy, Braden Patterson?
Guys, he's definitely out for tonight. Pads are off. He's back up, wrapped up in a sling, trying to figure out what that means for the weeks to come. But we will not be seeing Braden Patterson again tonight.
Folks, you heard it there. But also, Andrew, just kind of tell us about what the coaches are saying down there on the sideline, what they're telling the players, just what's kind of going down on the Lawrence sideline right now.
Well, obviously a little disappointment on that 3rd down. On that conversion, you hate to get Clinton in a spot like that and not be able to get him off the field. But everybody's still positive. Everybody's still loose. I think better energy on the defense tonight, better swarming to the ball. Folks feel, little optimistic, little hopeful. Things are going all right so far.
You heard it there first from Andrew Corley on that Angela Marlette sideline report, as the Raiders now will come out on defense after the timeout. As you hear the fans, they're wanting that defense to turn up.
Turn up, they need to. I agree with them.
As they're going to motion over number 4.
They keep outside.
As there's a hold, but what a play! What a tackle there by number 8, Brandy Hill in the secondary, but it's going to be holding against the Red Devils.
Nice.
I'll tell you what, Thomas. Hillcrest got a lot of them. Clinton might get a few more than them tonight.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, you outrun anybody. You got to hold them. Like I said, the defense just run to the ball, stay on a flat line. They did that perfect. That was like, that's something I think hopefully the defensive coach will clip up and be like, hey, this is how you do it right here.
Didn't lose containment at all on the edge, and great open field tackle. That's your favorite thing right there.
Oh, for sure, man. Open field tackling, people don't really understand how hard it is. So when you see guys in college football, when you got a guy that's running real shifty and you make a great play in the open field, man, it's like Christmas, man.
As they'll go split receivers, 1 on each side, still in the wing T. As they will motion over Javen Cook, they will quarterback pitch. It's Javen Cook, though, as the Raiders are going to swarm to him. What a play. A lot of Raiders in the area swarming to the football. A big play. Tackled right at the line of scrimmage. Is now, the clock is now ticked to 2:01 here in the first quarter. 6-0 in favor of the Red Devils.
Great discipline football.
You're right.
All you ever wanted. That's great discipline football.
That's night and day difference from last week.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
As Clinton now still with the football. They're backed up on their own side. They'll motion quarterback keeper. They're looking for a pass. They're throwing it down the field. Pass is complete to number 17, Grady Watkins.
And again, that comeback route, that's a very hard route to stop. And again, number 8, they already did it to him twice. He's still, as a DB, you will take that because because eventually they're gonna go deep, and you don't want him to break on that. Maybe a stop and go, you know what I'm saying, something like a stutter step, and then he'll keep going. So he has to be alert on that.
That's right. As double routes are in our game more than ever now.
Yes.
Double moves and routes.
For sure.
There's the fake. They're going to throw it. They're going to look deep. Raiders have a lot of guys in coverage as they don't get turned around. The catch is going to be made by Angelo Cromer, and that's going to be one the Raiders are going to want to have back as Clinton finds the end zone for the second time with 55 seconds left in the first quarter. What you see there from the secondary, Thomas?
I think that was a busted play. I think the cornerback, unless they stayed in cover 2, but I truly think that might have been a busted play because I think if the corner would have continued to drop back on that play, because again, they have to get to the sticks. Either they're going deep or not. They're punting. But again, you just kind of want to, if you see that, go ahead and jump it. Nobody cares. Whatever coverage you're in, just go ahead and jump that route. That's a smart play if you do.
As Clinton's going to go for 2, they are going to throw it out to a double pass. It's intercepted.
Take it.
Nobody's in front of him.
I forgot high school rules.
Man, what? That is not fun. That probably could have been 2 points going the other way.
Could have been.
But Logan Martin comes away with a big-time INT here. We're going to take a quick break here on the Lawrence Raider Sports Network.
Chestnut Ridge Baptist Church is more than a place to go. It's a place to belong. We invite you to join us each Sunday morning on one of our 3 campuses for relevant Bible preaching and exciting worship. Our central campus is located at 499 Chestnut Ridge Road in Lawrence. Services there are at 8, 9:15, and 10:30 each Sunday. Our Calvary campus is located at 702 North Sloan Street in Clinton. The service there begins at 10:30. Worship on our Hispanic campus, located at 22088 Highway 76 East, begins at 10:30. Chestnut Ridge Baptist Church. Welcome home.
Get connected to the future of driving performance with the Hercules Road Tour Connect PCV. This premium touring tire was made to make connections. Connecting the rubber to the road with reliable all-season handling. Connecting the drive to the destination with improved comfort and fuel efficiency. And connecting today's vehicles to tomorrow's driving performance. With our 70 years of expertise and leading protection promise riding shotgun, it's easy to make the connection to the Road Tour Connect PCV from Hercules Tires.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Jackson Edwards, Thomas Jones here. Lawrence Clinton, the county championship has not gone our way early, Thomas, as that ball is kicked to Denari Lee Jackson. He will take this one now. He's going to have not a lot of blockers, but he's going to break a tackle, man. What a return from Denari Lee Jackson to give the Raider offense something to start with. They will start at their own 35-yard line. Well, Thomas, 50 seconds left in the first quarter. What do you want to see from the Raiders on offense?
Continue to do the little things right. The line has to be able to hold the D-line. Because the Clinton's D-line, they're getting off the ball really well. So just continue to hold the ball. I think Orange's play calling is going perfectly. I think it's the right thing to do, but at the same time, amp it up a little bit. Give me a deep ball. I like that last ball, although it didn't go our way, with the incompletion to Yarborough. But let's do it again. Let's do it some more. We need some kind of momentum.
You're right. We need a big play as there will be a single back to Bragg's left. That'll be Nehemiah Fernandez. Raiders going to go with a tight end set here. Probably going to get a handoff on first down.
Oh, for sure.
As they are going to hand it to Fernandez, and he's got 2 guys on him before he can even break the line of scrimmage. I think the Raiders are going to lose about a half a yard on that play as the clock still ticking. Right at 35 seconds, Clinton leads this one 12-0 here from KC Hanna Stadium. Raiders are going to have to get at least one more play off. So they will stay with that tight end set. 2nd down and 11.
I think you go deep to the guy backside.
Bragg takes
nice
a snap,
play.
looking to throw. He's got DeMaje Crooks, but it's tipped. That ball's going to be intercepted by Jaden Glenn, and that one might be 6. As It looks like they're going to call him short at the 2. Tackled by Logan Bragg. Jaden Glenn, 2 weeks, 2 INTs for the Red Devil linebacker.
Yeah, I think that's something, I love the look that Brad gave, going to the single guy. But, again, you see that, he shaded over that outside backer. He shaded over to the slant, so they're respecting Crooks right now. Crooks, he turned a lot of heads last week, so they're definitely respecting him right now.
I'm sure he's not liking that too much either, having safeties and backers and outside linebackers just shadowing him with a corner already on him. As there's going to be a handoff, but I think they're going to be short.
Nice.
As they are short, they'll be at the half-yard line. As that will end the first quarter here at Casey Stadium. Andrew, tell us what's going down on the field right now.
Obviously not thrilled with the way that offensive possession ended. Coach Porter's kind of looking for answers from his offense. It's a little bit of a reversal from last week. You're seeing positives on defense beyond, busting touchdown, but they need to get the offense going. Right now they're just trying to recover with this goal line and see what we can do.
You're right, Andrew. That's something they're definitely going to have to figure out. Is they're going to flip the field here, Thomas. 12 minutes have been put on the clock as they are recognizing the cheerleaders here at LDHS this year. Thomas, we're a quarter in. Lawrence has really had no answers on offense.
No, none. And again, it's still early, just the first quarter. And like I said, the defense is playing well. They're playing good enough because the field position that they're in, it's not the greatest actually. But hopefully, with this ball being on either the one or 2, I would hope the defensive guy, our defensive coach, tells our guys, be expecting, a quarterback keep or that option play they went to earlier.
I think so too. I don't think Clinton really ever tries to get cute right here. They shouldn't. If they were smart, they probably won't. They're either going to they're going to run the gut play up the middle, or they're going to try to probably keep it with the quarterback. As the Raiders will come out, the ball will be spotted at inside the 1. It'll be 2nd and goal from about the half-yard line here at Lawrence. Clinton is on the Lawrence side of the field for the second quarter, so hopefully those students are giving them an earful, as there's going to be an outside carry and an arm tackle broken through easily there by who else? Number 4, Angelo Cromer, who's had a big day on the ground to start today, Thomas.
Yeah, man. Those running backs, they're the truth. And again, Clinton, they run behind their big 70 guy. Why not? Continue to do it if it works. So, that's a Division I football player right now out there. So.
As Clinton will again opt to go for 2, I believe here, trying to make this one 20-0. Raiders have stopped them on extra point attempts in the 2-point conversion, as well as the field goal that was a bad snap to the holder. Clinton going to snap it. They're going to look to throw, throwing to a slant route.
Nice.
It's broken
Good
up
hand.
once again. Great hand there. I tell you what, Clinton can find the end zone for touchdowns, but he can't find that extra point.
No, not at all.
As you've got to see something from the Raiders this drive. 11 minutes and 55 seconds left in the second quarter. 18-0 is your score here from Casey Hanna Stadium. We're going to take a quick break here and hear a few words from our sponsors here. You're listening to Lawrence Raider Football on the Lawrence Raider Sports Network.
Looking for a great deal on a dependable ride? Buck's Auto Sales in Hickory Tavern has got you covered. Family owned for over 80 years and A+ accredited by the Better Business Bureau, they offer trusted service and solid pre-owned vehicles for every budget. With a wide selection of sedans, SUVs, and trucks, paired with flexible financing and friendly service, you'll drive off happy every time. Stop by Buck's Auto Sales at 13070 Highway 76 West in Gray Court, or call 8645-752700 to find the perfect car today. Buck's Auto Sales, where quality meets community.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Lawrence Raider Sports Network. Raiders going to receive here. Demaje Crooks back deep once again for the Raiders. Hopefully they kick him the ball this time.
Man, you know what? I doubt it. I highly doubt it, man. Like I said, they watch that film. They're respecting Crooks tonight. But the ball's going to get in his hand eventually.
That's going to be down the middle. It's going to be picked up by DeMaje Crooks. Crooks
Crooks
going to go to the right. And what did you expect from DeMaje Crooks? A big return, but he fumbles it. And I believe the Red Devils are on it. Were flags thrown? I don't know what that white thing was. That's the ball spot.
Yeah, ball spot.
There is another turnover. Again. Raiders have got to get away from the turnovers.
Yeah, man. The turnover margin is not pretty. It's not pretty at all. Like I said, those are always a killer. But again, it's still early. There's no reason for Crooks to hold his head. Get back out there. Honestly, when they do get back on offense, hopefully Porter draws up a play that puts the ball in his hands.
He needs to. He's got to keep his playmaker okay.
Yes.
That's an uncharacteristic mistake there from DeMaje Crooks. Raiders will come out on defense once again. Red Devils already in great field positioning. That's been the name of the game. Clinton has gotten the ball on our side of the field every drive.
Every drive, man. Every drive. And it's tough.
Glenn looking to throw. There's a wide open receiver. It is caught. Flag on the play in the secondary. I don't really know what that flag's for.
The only thing I could get from that maybe would be a push off on the wide receiver, but the defender was nowhere near the wide receiver. He had room. I don't know.
As the ball was caught there by Javen Cook, he's hanging his head. Looks like the penalty will go against the Red Devils.
Maybe it got downfield again.
Maybe. As holding is the call against Clinton. They'll back him up 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
And I will say, 17 for Clinton. It was wide open, man.
Down the right sideline. There was no one in the area.
Oh my goodness! I think he might have went to the Joe Adair Center and counted every animal they had in there. Man. So, hopefully somebody hears me.
Yeah. It'll be first down and 20. Clinton backed all the way up to the 50-yard line. Still in that wing tee. They will motion over the running back. That is number 6, KJ Vance. And a big carry. As that's going to get almost back to the original spot. It'll be about a yard behind the sticks. Second down and 11 for the Red Devils. Go ahead.
Red Devils, they're getting pushed, man. I'm just watching the receivers. They're blocking, man. Like, that's one thing they always do since I've
They're doing their job as Vance will be the motioner. They will hand it, though, to Cook as the Raiders are on him as the whistle is finally blown. Took him a little while to blow that whistle, but Cook picks up 5 yards. It'll be third down and 5. A chance for the Raiders to get off the field right here.
And they have to. They have to. No other choice, man. They have to. And I wouldn't be surprised if they don't convert on this third down, that Clinton wouldn't go for it,
As Clinton will take the snap from the Lawrence 35-yard line. Third down and 5. That's a long way for a field goal in high school. They're going to look to throw. Throwing quickly near the sticks. It will be caught. And a first down for number 14, Chris Boyd. Or excuse me, number 14, P.J. McGowan.
And Jackson, man, that irks me. As a safety cornerback, it irks me. 3rd and 5. The receiver has to get past the sticks. And you're already 5 yards off the ball. With it being 3rd and 5, don't backpedal. Don't backpedal, man. All the wide receiver has to do is just shut it down. Don't backpedal.
You love the aggressiveness. That's what they're going to roll out. Glenn looking to throw. He's got an open receiver. It's tipped and incomplete. Kari Stevens in coverage there. Had a chance to come away with an INT, but bounces right over his head. It'll be second down and 10.
Is that a flag on the play?
It'd be nice. Ineligible receiver against the Red Devils. Yep, it is ineligible on Clinton. That's 2 on. That's just not discipline there from the offensive line. You got to know where you're at. As it'll be now 1st and 15. Clinton backed all the way up to now their 33-yard line. Clinton going to bring in 2 players here. That'll be number 10, Owen Glenn, and number 18, Zai Butler.
And again, I see something in Clinton where they stretch the field again. Hit the outside. Because Clinton, they have speed, man. They have some really good speed. So
as they will motion over the back. And a big hole, but a big hit. And the Raiders aren't able to bring down number 6, KJ Vance. Is absolutely bouncing off of Raiders. Again, the name of the game, tackling guys when you get to them.
Got to, man. You have to. A lot of arm tackles, man. A lot. You know, sometimes you just gotta put your teeth on the ball. You gotta put your teeth on the ball. You know, get the guy down. You know, really make a statement and tell this guy, look, don't run over here again. You know.
9 minutes and 40 seconds and ticking. Clinton itching to score once again. They lead at 18-0. As the ball snapped, that is handed off to number 3, Javen Cook. He bounces off a blocker. Is he going to get the edge? Yes, he is. Clinton scores once again. Javen Cook finding the end zone again for the Red Devils. And that's going to add another 6 on the board. 24-0 is your score. They will bring out looks like the field goal team.
Yeah, I say you got to.
I mean,
Why
it's
go
24
for 2?
to nothing. There's no point going for 2 now.
Why go for 2? There's no point.
You know, they're going to bring out Pablo Hernandez here, as they'll go in that weird setup, and then they'll probably go straight into it, as yes, they do go right into the PAT. Hernandez will try to add on the point after with 9:26 left in the half. As there's a flag on the play, looks like a false start.
False start for sure.
And they really can't get it right on these extra points today. But, you know, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you stay with us because we will have content to you, or we'll be bringing content to you at the PRTC halftime show. So stick with us. You'll get to hear from LDHS principal, Mr. Lewis Compton, at halftime this week. So stay with us, and we'll get you some halftime stats and some breakdowns as the Raiders, I don't know what the call was. Did they decline that penalty? I didn't know they could decline that.
They declined it.
But I don't know why you decline that penalty. Unless there were 2 penalties on the play. And
if I'm not wrong, I think it might have been on Lawrence, actually.
Is Hernandez here? The kick, the snap's high, but that one is no good.
Yeah. That was a line drive.
And Clinton's woes on the extra point attempts are just continuing today. That's about the only ups for the Raiders today. It's not been a great start. Has by no means been the start that they want. We're going to pause for a second for station identification. You're listening to Lawrence Raider Football here on the Lawrence Raider Sports Network.
You are listening to live coverage of Raider football on the Lawrence Raider Sports Network.
Hey, Raider fans. Planning a home makeover or ready to build your dream house? Brewington Contractors has your back. This family-owned, local trusted general contractor brings over 27 years of experience building custom homes, remodeling kitchens and baths, roofing, renovations, and more, all across South Carolina with integrity, fair pricing, and a friendly team you can count on. From start to finish, they're committed to quality, on-time completion, and your 100% satisfaction. Need a project done right? Call Brewington Contractors today at 8649-235-789 or visit brewingtoncontractors.us to get your quote. Brewington Contractors, raising your expectations one project at a time.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Jackson Edwards, Thomas Jones, as that ball's going to be kicked over towards the sideline. It's going to be caught by number 7, Travian Robinson. He's going to hit the sideline, and he's met with a big hit by Chris Boyd there, special teams. Ladies and gentlemen, a little drive summary there. Clinton had the ball just over 2 minutes, 6 plays, resulting in a touchdown from Javen Cook, his second of the day. You know, Thomas, that guy, he's no slouch either. He's rushed for over 1,700 yards in his Clinton career.
Wow.
So, obviously, has a state title last year.
Yep. He's toting it, man. You know, like that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot, y'all.
As they will motion over the back. Nemo Fernandez. Bragg's going to look. He's going to step up in the pocket. He's got about 3 Red Devils, and he's just going to throw it out of bounds. No chance to get the ball to any receivers there. Offensive line has given him very little time to make decisions on these plays. But that was one of the more clean pockets, actually. He kind of got to get outside and make a play there as soon as the tackle was broken there by number 55.
It was.
Daryl Swindler.
It was. And again, Clinton secondary, they're doing pretty well. Again, when you have a cushion, when you're up 24-0, you can do a little things. You know, you're not scared to get beat. So, you know, again, just keep doing the thing.
As there is Fernandez on the pitch, and he's met by some Red Devils near the line of scrimmage. He is on the ground. Nemo Fernandez is going to carry that one for, I believe, 3 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 7 from the Lawrence 36-yard line. 8:53 left in the game, 24-0 in favor of the Red Devils. Clinton's won this thing every year since 2019, Thomas.
And that's surprising. Oh, it's not. I shouldn't say that. It's not surprising, but it sucks. It sucks to hear that. You know, we need something going.
Bragg stepping up in the pocket, delivers a strike over the middle of the field. And DeMaje Crooks was the intended receiver. He's unable to make the catch there. 4th down. But
good step up in the box. Just got to hold on to that ball. And that was good coverage by 13 as well. I have to give him credit as well. That was really good coverage.
The Raiders will send out Brock Franklin to punt once again. Raiders have had nothing for the Clinton defense. 1 first down today, Thomas. 1 singular first down.
Maybe we'll wake up. You know, last week was a first half game. You know, this week may be a second half game. Hopefully that's the,
We're going to have to stop Clinton before this game gets too out of hand for that to happen too, though.
We will, man. We will. I'm a positive human being, so we will.
Great punt there from Franklin. As hopefully it gets a Raider bounce. It will bounce, and it will be downed by number 17, Price Turner.
Great punt.
Great punt, as you said, and we're going to roll on here. We're going to keep it with us as the teams will come out real quick here. Great punt, and great job to down the ball right where it bounced before it bounced any more backwards. And we're going to take a second. We're going to pan it down to Andrew Corley on the sideline. This is an Angela Marlette State Farm sideline report. Andrew, what's going down on the field right now? Andrew.
Hey, sorry, guys. I was in the tent trying to hear something. What's going on?
We just want to pan it down to you and hear what's going on, as that ball is going to be on the ground, a carry by number 4, Angelo Cromer. So, Andrew, take it away.
Hey, sorry about that. Yeah, I mean, we're looking for answers on offense. Not the start that the Raiders wanted, and not a lot to say, honestly. They're still trying to figure out 1 first down. There isn't a lot to say on it, but they're in the tent looking at it now, hopefully trying to figure out what they can do to get this offense moving.
Well, thank you, Andrew Thomas, and we've said it, man. I mean, they're still looking for answers. They got to find them eventually.
Oh, they got to, man. And again, they will. A few answers will come. The defense just have to keep playing their game.
Pitch to the outside. Cromer is tackled there by number 6, Zamar Jones.
I will say,
go ahead,
Clinton. They're a physical team. I will say, Lawrence. We just have to get downhill. Meet them in the middle. Meet them in the middle. That's all you got to do.
Clinton on these pitch plays. I mean, it could just be me, but they're running so downhill. We look. I mean, I don't want to say timid, but some plays, I mean, they're just having their way when they hit the hole. We don't stand a chance. As that one's going right up the gut there to number 18, Zy Butler, the star of last week. A big carry is going to carry that one down into Raider territory. He is tackled by Zamar Jones down at the Lawrence 45-yard line.
And I would truly love for, Lawrence, like, linemen to kind of, like, step up, pinch those gaps a little bit more, just show a little bit more aggression, because, again, you're down by one more touchdown, you're in the game, you really are, just get them down,
Glenn steps up. He's going to be tackled by a ton of Raiders there. It's going to be a big carry for Owen Glenn there. 6 minutes and 38 seconds left in the game. Raiders down to their arch rivals, the Clinton Red Devils, 24-0. That carry there by Glenn will bring the Red Devils to a 2nd down and 3 from the Lawrence 38. Lawrence has had plays or had a lot of opportunities to get off the field. They just have not been able to do such.
Not been at all, And again, I don't want to say a little sluggish, but not at all. It's just just play your gaps. Make that tackle.
There's a big carry by number 6, KJ Vance.
Nice.
An open field tackle there. He's not going to find the end zone. He's brought down to the ground by number 8, Brandy Hill. Raiders again in trouble with 5 minutes and 58 seconds left in the quarter and the half, excuse me. We'll have all the stats for you at the half, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to stay with us, and you'll get to hear on the PRTC halftime show from the LDHS principal, Mr. Lewis Compton. Get to hear all the stats and more from myself and Thomas, and we'll get to hear actually a little bit from Coach Porter before the half. Thomas, I guess we need to start scheming up a question of what we want to hear at the halftime.
Again, stay loose, man. Stay loose. That's my true motto. Stay loose. Stay loose. But, right now how I'm feeling, I know I'm still very monotone right now, but, man, I'm hot right now. I'm heated, man. I want to put a helmet on right now. Like, goodness gracious.
You're not wrong at all, Thomas, as there's a flag, or the flag is waved off. As it'll be first down and 10 from the 10. Clinton will have no more first downs this close to the end zone. Just got to hope the Raiders can figure something out.
They will. They will. I got faith in them. They will.
They have not had a lot of answers for Clinton on offense or defense in this half. But hopefully they'll regroup at halftime and maybe figure something out, as that ball is going to be handed off to number 18, Zy Butler, and he is going to get all the way into the end zone. Red Devils have scored their 5th touchdown in the first half, Thomas.
Yeah. It's, that was a really good run. Again, I'm giving credit to both teams. That was a really good run. You just bouncing off the tackles. You got to wrap up. You truly have to wrap up. You're just throwing a shoulder in there. That doesn't do anything. You got to wrap up.
30-0 with 5 minutes and 4 seconds left in the half. They will go into their weird formation before the PAT. Do you ever get that? You know why teams do stuff like that?
The last thing I remember, Northwestern, my senior year, they did that, and I remember watching it on film, and I was like, what is this? I was like, because Northwestern, they were a really good team, and I was like, they might run something out of this, so let me stay smart with this. But no, I don't know why teams do that. I really don't.
But as we were saying that, Clinton will find an extra point there. We are going to take a quick break. You're listening to Lawrence Raider Football here on the Lawrence Raider Sports Network.
When it's game time, you can't afford delays, and the same goes for your car. At Valvoline Express Care in Lawrence, we get you in, out, and back on the road fast. No appointment needed. Just drive up and let our certified techs handle your oil change, fluid checks, and preventative maintenance with the care you can trust. Support the team that supports your Raiders. Valvoline Express Care, conveniently located right here in Lawrence on Hillcrest Drive. Drive in today to see Allen and drive out ready for the win.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Casey Hanna Stadium. Jackson Edwards, Thomas Jones. Give you a little drive summary. The Red Devils ran 6 plays in 3 minutes and 21 seconds, and a touchdown by Zy Butler has them on top of your Raiders 31-0, Thomas. 5 minutes left in the half. It'll be Demaje Crooks back deep again for the Lawrence Raiders. Kicking off for the Red Devils will be number 84, Pablo Hernandez.
It happened quick, man. That happened quick. I was literally still thinking it was 18-0.
They're scoring really quick. And here's Demaje Crooks. He's going to get a chance to return it. Crooks is going to get to the outside, and another great return by Demaje Crooks. The kid is truly unbelievable in special teams.
He's nice. He's nice.
Great return from number 1. Crooks is going to give the Raiders probably their best starting field positioning of the day outside of his last return.
Yes. And Lawrence, they have to play quick, man. Do it quick, do it fast, play with some good tempo, but at the same time, no pressure. No pressure at all.
There's definitely no pressure now.
Now.
The game's out of hand here in the first half. You just got to kind of hope you can chip away here. As we're going to pitch it down to the sideline. Andrew Corley, what you hearing down there from the boys in green and gold tonight?
hey, you know, guys, obviously not the start anybody wanted, not what they were expecting. So, you know, and I think, Thomas, you can speak to that a little bit more. They're still fighting. They're looking to get out here. You know, Coach Porter's on them, trying to make something happen this drive, go into the second half, see what they can do.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's gonna be a lot of throwing of clipboards. You know, probably clock it at probably 80 miles per hour. But you know, with this one of those things, I think a player has to step up and say something. You know, especially one of those seniors. This is the last time playing against Clinton. You know, we ain't about to go out here and lay no goose egg. You gotta show some kind of a fight. So let's go. Let's get up and do it. You know, you gotta grab somebody by their face, man. It's like, look, bro, let's go. Let's go.
This group of seniors have never beaten the Red Devils. Never beaten Clinton in their career.
That makes me sick to my stomach, kind of.
Yeah.
You know?
As there's the snap. It's going to be handed off to Nemo Fernandez. Fernandez on the ground up the middle will gain 4 yards. A positive play on first down as the clock reads 4 minutes and 48 seconds. Clinton leads this one 31-0.
Number 12, Noah Garrett on the tackle.
Thomas, maybe 5 yards on the play.
Yeah, man.
Good carry there. Fernandez hit the hole hard that time.
He did.
And ran really tough.
And that's how you got to do it, man. Hit it hard. Make them feel you every time you got the ball in your hand.
Lee Jackson, the single back to Bragg's left. He'll take the carry. He'll get to the corner. He makes one miss. What a carry, but there's a flag on the play.
A little holding.
Did you have that on 17?
I think holding on 17.
And it looks like holding could be the only call. And that's a morale killer right there. As the Raiders had an opportunity to move the chains. Coach Porter obviously not liking that call. It's going to be holding against number 17, Bryce Turner of the Raiders.
Very frustrating. You know, that's something, you know, of course you don't want things like that to happen, but continue to keep calling those plays like that because they're working. You know, the running back shouldn't be discouraged or anything. 17 shouldn't be discouraged. Come back out there. Let's go. Let's keep going.
You're right. As they're calling holding again, I don't know why the head official gave us a holding call twice, but nevertheless, it'll be 2nd down and 9. Logan Bragg with a single back. Denari Lee Jackson, the low snap is fumbled, and the Red Devils are going to pick it up. And that one can be walked back. A scoop and score for number 24, Javian James, the junior. And this one is not pretty in the first half, ladies and gentlemen. The score reads 37-0 in favor of the Red Devils.
Yeah, man, that's pretty ugly. You know, it's ugly. And again, you know, just got to keep fighting. You know, those snaps are, you know, it's been 2 snaps in a row that have been, like, on the ground, you know. So, got to clean some things up. Keep your head up as a player, you know.
Not at all what you want to see if you're the Lawrence Raiders. Here on your home turf, these seniors getting to play Clinton at home their senior year. Definitely not what they want to see, and I can promise you it's not what Coach Porter wants to see right now as the PAT is up, and it is good. Clinton taking out all that frustration from last week against Woodruff. We're going to take a second to hear from some of our sponsors. Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to Lawrence Raider Football here on the Lawrence Raider Sports Network.
GoLawrence.com is Lawrence County's daily source for news, sports, and community updates. From Raider scores to breaking stories, we've got it covered. And for local businesses, GoLawrence.com is the premier platform in Lawrence County to promote your business. Stay informed. Stay connected. GoLawrence.com, your source for Lawrence County news. Go Raiders.
Just like the Raiders, great teams start with a strong foundation. At Lawrence County Water and Sewer Commission, we're proud to provide clean, reliable water and essential services that keep our community thriving. Whether it's in your home, at your business, or right here under the Friday night lights, you can count on our team to deliver. Lawrence County Water and Sewer Commission, serving our neighbors today, building for tomorrow. From our team to yours, go Raiders!
Ladies and gentlemen, Jackson Edwards, Thomas Jones, here from Casey Hanna Stadium. Thomas, obviously we've said it a lot tonight. This is not at all what we thought was going to happen.
Not at all, man. No, not at all.
38 points in the first half with 4 minutes still in the half. And I'll tell you what, if it was us in this situation, you know we'd be running up the score. So Lawrence better figure something out if they want to walk out of here with a little bit of pride after this one.
For sure. And, you know, as a player, you cannot lay down because Clinton, they're coming.
As Travian Robinson will catch that one. He's going to cut back to the left this time. He's going to hit a hole, but he's going to be tackled by an entourage of Red Devils down at the Raider 25-yard line. Logan Bragg will trot back out. And I'll tell you what, from what I've heard about the kid, obviously he's a freshman, but he's a guy that kind of is able to put mistakes behind him. And we need that tonight.
Yes.
Any kind of mistakes they've gotten, whether that be a pull too early or a late pull on a give or an interception, it really wasn't his fault.
No.
You just, you know, it's he's playing with his head with a real short-term memory, and that's how you got to be as a quarterback.
Oh, that's
I think.
great.
They're going to run a screen play there to number 3, Caleb Gilchrist. He's going to break a tackle. He's going to break another tackle, but not that tackle, as he is brought to the ground by number 7, Chris Boyd.
Boy, he's playing relentless right now. You know, he flew downhill. Man, that looked good. That looked really good. 3, good catch. You just got to, once you make a couple cuts, you got to get upfield, son.
Yeah, you can't keep running around in the backfield and giving them a chance to tackle you.
At all.
3 minutes and 26 seconds. Time is still ticking towards halftime. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to join us for the PRTC halftime show. As
blitz.
Travian Robinson in motion. There's the blitz from Clinton. There's a deep throw down their left sideline over the head of number 5, Jaden Williams. That's his first target of the day, Thomas. He had a great week last week, and that's our first time throwing him the football today.
And with that coverage, you know, Clinton showed blitz. You know, of course, with that, you're definitely going man-on-man. I respect it. You know, that was a great matchup. That was just a great, you know, rep by the wide receiver and cornerback with that time. Even with the ball, I still think it was a decent ball as well. So, again, keep going at it. You got to hit. I mean, right now you want those plays. You really want them. So, because right here you need a first down. You really do.
You're right. It's 3rd down and 11. Raiders have not had great field position on 3rd down. Clinton shows blitz, but they drop back. Bragg being chased is going to throw it underneath to Demaje Crooks. Crooks is going to lose a yard on the play. Crooks' big week last week has been stalled this week, as that's his first catch. He's going to have negative yards. Lawrence will be forced to punt here with 2 minutes and 50 seconds left in the half here from Casey Hanna Stadium. As ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to stay with us as we'll get a question to Coach Greg Porter as he's walking off to the field from our sideline guy, Mr. Andrew Corley.
Yeah, I'm kind of nervous if I'm Andrew.
I'm definitely nervous.
Oof.
I don't want to be near that guy. I'm going to be nervous asking him to interview him next week. There's a punt. I don't know if they got a finger on it, but
they brought the house right there.
They did. They will down, or that punt will go out of bounds at the Raider 40. We're going to pause a second for station identification here on the Lawrence Raider Sports Network.
You are listening to live coverage of Raider football on the Lawrence Raider Sports Network.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Jackson Edwards, Thomas Jones. Clinton has the football, and they've had their way today, as that one's going to be handed to the outside. It will be number 4, Angelo Cromer, getting to the edge. He's had a great day on the ground today for Clinton.
He has, man. He has. He's a speedy guy. You know, I'm watching him. I see guys making good angles at him, but he's just literally making one move and getting upfield. So, salute to him.
Yeah, well, Thomas, you know, obviously the story on Clinton is obviously they got big number 70, Trey Aiken.
Yes.
The kid was thought at a time to be a South Carolina lock.
Really?
And, yeah, he just up and said, nah, let's go Wolfpack. I don't know if that's because of NIL or what, but.
Oh.
As,
Money talks. Yeah.
There's a handoff to Javid Cook. A big carry as he is tackled down by number 8 of the Raiders, Randy Hill.
Yeah, North Carolina State, they got him a good one with this one.
Yeah.
They got him a good one.
Yeah, The kid's good. He's really good at sealing that edge on the left side. And why would you run behind a guy like that?
Seriously. I mean, he stands out, on both sides. Clinton and Lawrence. He's a big guy.
He is a big guy. And the Raiders really don't have anybody near that size.
No, not at all.
But as they will motion over Angelo Cromer, a pass deep into the end zone. It is incomplete. Nice. Great coverage right there by number 8, Brandy Hill.
Great coverage. And
go ahead.
And that's something right there, you just got to keep playing because you easily could have just gave up, easily as a player, going into halftime, gave up, just making the lead increase. But that was great coverage. That was, that's something that, you practice. Now it's game time, and you did it in the game. So
that's right. 58 seconds left in the half. 2nd and 10 for Clinton. They'll take this snap from the Raider 24. Angelo Cromer in motion. He will see a block, and he might. He doesn't find the end zone, but he gets real close as he's going to be tackled down at the 2 by a couple of Raiders there. 49 seconds left in the half here. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, join us for the PRTC halftime show, brought to you by PRTC, where you'll get to hear an interview with LDHS principal, Mr. Lewis Compton, and you'll get to hear all the stats about this game in the first half and all around the league as they will say Clinton got into the end zone again. 6 first half touchdowns for the Red Devils. 44-0, Thomas. This is not good.
Nah, man, it's with stuff like this, all you can do is laugh, and I'm a laugh. So
yeah.
But I will say, number 4 for Clinton, blessed, man. He's a good player. I like him too. But
Hernandez to add the PAT. It is
no good.
No good. Yeah, the only part of film Clinton might have to look at this week is special teams. Definitely that field goal unit.
Definitely. And that's probably the only positive thing going on in this game for Lawrence right now. It's the best. We got the interception on the
2-point conversion. The bad snap on the first touchdown of the game.
So, that's the only good things. But still got a whole nother half left of football, and hopefully we can keep it going.
You sure hope so.
I do.
I mean, I'm sure I speak for Raider Nation, but I'm sure everybody's on the same page as us on that situation. Is the Raider fans are just looking for something.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, if this was just a regular old game, people would be clearing out right now. But Seriously. It is Lawrence Clinton, so they're not clearing out as fast. Raider fans, we'll give you a little quick drive summary. Clinton had it from 2:18 to 40 seconds left, so just over a minute, or just about at 2 minutes, and they ran 4 plays, finding the end zone once again. Clinton having an unbelievable day on the ground, and we said it coming in. Clinton's going to run the football. We got to stop it.
Yes.
And we have not done that. As that might be what we talked to Coach Porter about at halftime. I know Andrew's got us maybe talking to him about how we plan on going about stopping the run. As I saw that face from Andrew, I know that if I was in his shoes right now, I would really not be wanting to talk to him before halftime.
Yeah. Andrew might have to, ask that question from the DJ booth.
As DeMaze Crooks on the return.
Hold to that ball.
Another good return for Crooks.
Nice.
He has been unbelievable returning the football. That's been about the only bright spot for the Raiders today is DeMaze Crooks in the return game. Maybe we just need to score all our touchdowns and get some turnovers on special teams. Maybe I'll punch some footballs out, and I don't know.
You know what? If it gets points on the board, let's do it.
Yeah, it keeps points off the board.
Yeah.
32 seconds left in the half. Clinton leads this one 44-0. Raiders have been unable to find the end zone. They have not been great on offenses. There's Denari Lee Jackson. He's going to find a corner, and he's going, wow, he lowers the shoulder. Nice carry from Denari Lee Jackson there. It's going to be a 10-yard carry. That's another bright spot today. Denari Lee Jackson has ran the football very well today, and that first down is brought to you by Self Regional Healthcare. Raiders trying to move the football. They now have it at their own 44. Ball snapped, a low snap. Lee Jackson's going to get it again. He's going to turn another corner. Another great run from Denari Lee Jackson. So I believe he got 4 there. As we're awaiting the spot. 5 or 6, actually. 5-yard gain from Denari Lee Jackson. And, you know, if you're Lawrence, you really just got to kind of keep the hot hand in and keep feeding it till it doesn't work.
Exactly.
I mean, it's 44-0. It's not time to get cute. I mean, we need to figure things out now before we get into even better competition. As there's a pass, he's going to pull it down. He's going to take off. What a decision there by Logan Bragg.
I like that.
A great carry by the young quarterback. Picking up a first down, brought to you by Self Regional Healthcare.
Show some speed out there, man.
14 seconds. Timeout, Raiders. We're going to take a quick second right here, and we're going to hear a few words from our sponsors, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to Lawrence Raider Football here on the Lawrence Raider Sports Network.
Looking for out-of-this-world fun right here in Lawrence? Big Air Lawrence has you covered. Jump into action with all attractions included, plus daily deals like 2 for Tuesdays, Midday Madness, and Cosmic Night every Friday and Saturday with black lights, bass, and nonstop excitement. Planning a birthday or a group event? Big Air makes it easy with customizable party packages and group rates for up to 400 jumpers. Big Air Lawrence, where the whole community comes to play. Visit bigairusa.com/Lawrence for details. And as always, go Raiders.
Furman Ford is a proud supporter of Lawrence Raider football. We are your hometown Ford dealer that knows you by name and is here for your vehicle purchasing and service needs. Whether it's buying a new or pre-owned car or getting your current vehicle repaired and road ready, a member of the Furman Ford team is here to assist. Shop today and experience the difference that a true family-owned business can make. Furman Ford is a locally owned and operated business that has supported Lawrence County and Raider football since 2003.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Casey Hanna Stadium is,
Your vehicle needs repairs.
As there
No
comes
big corporate
the
pressure,
blind
just
side
hometown
rusher there on the Clinton defense. That is number 8, A.Z. Simmons, getting the sack there on Bragg. Clinton's second sack of the day.
Clinton, they're sending pressure, I would say. They are doing that.
As Lawrence will use their final timeout of the half here to stop the clock with 8 seconds left. If you're Lawrence right here, Thomas, what are you trying to do? You think you're looking for an out-of-bounds play? I mean, obviously you got to look near the out-of-bounds spot if you want to at least have a shot to try to get 3 on the board.
Honestly, we got 8 seconds. I would say, I don't know. I would just want something positive. You know, if that's putting the ball in the air, you know, yeah, that works. But something positive. I'm sure Clinton will probably have 3 guys in the end zone. If not, I'm sure they will probably have guys pretty deep. But just a positive play going into halftime. So that's pretty much all you need. A field goal would be perfect right here. But I mean, get some kind of points. But I mean, something positive would just great right now.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there as they are going to go to 5 receivers. Lee Jackson will line up in the slot on the left side at the top of your screen. Could be some kind of motion, I don't know, but 5 receivers, but they really only have a 2 safety cushion here, not 3 guys. Clinton's going to bring a blitz. He's got a bunch of guys in his face. Great play there by Bragg to get rid of the ball.
Yeah.
He had nothing, no chance there. As 55.
He came through.
55 right there. Daryl Swindler was unblocked.
He came through like he was coming through that poster before the game. That's he came through hard. I mean, good job by Bragg right there, getting rid of it, not taking a sack. But yeah, that was. Give my man some time up front, guys.
You got that right. As we got a 4 receiver set here. 3rd down and 16, 5 seconds left in the half. Ladies and gentlemen, don't want you to forget, join us for the PRTC halftime show. Brought to you by PRTC as the play is blown dead by the officials. It is a false start against the Raiders, backing them up 5 more yards. Not at all what the Raiders wanted in this type of game, Thomas. Now we're having mental mistakes. Like we're not with the snap count, and these things like that just cannot happen.
Cannot. It looks like you had number 7 on Clinton showing a blitz, and I think that kind of started a little confusion.
As
but
They'll go man-to-man. Bragg going to take a shot deep down the field, and he airmails his receiver, who is number 3, Caleb Gilchrist. It'll be 4th down for the Raiders with .9. I mean, might as well just throw it up to the end zone right here, right?
Throw it up. Do it again. Now you show the prevent look.
Yeah, there's Clinton in prevent.
Clinton.
As the Raider cheerleaders trying to instill some life into the Raider faithful. Real hard to do when you're down 44-0, Thomas.
Man, it's tough. It's tough. The only thing you're probably looking forward to is concession stands now.
As they'll hand it off to Lee Jackson. Time goes off. Denari, a great run there by the Raider running back to end the half. But we're going to catch Coach Porter here real fast. Andrew, let's hear what he has to say about that run game and how we're going to stop it in the second half.
Hey, Coach, obviously not the start. Seeing in Clinton's, we're hoping to be able to build on, kind of deal with in the second half. All right, Coach, appreciate it. Well, you heard it from Coach Porter. I mean, not the start we were hoping for, not what you wanted to see in this game, but there's another half to play, so we'll see what the team can build on.
And you're real optimistic like Thomas is up here. I mean, it's tough to look at that scoreboard and see 44-0 and try to find positives from the half. But ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the first half of football here. Clinton leads it 44-0 at the half. You're now listening to the PRTC Halftime Show brought to you by PRTC. We'll catch you after a quick break from a word from our sponsors.
PRTC is a proud supporter of the Lawrence Raider football team, the Raider Band, and the Raider cheerleaders. We have been your local telecommunications provider for over 70 years. PRTC is committed to keeping our community connected. From dependable high-speed internet to crystal-clear phone service, our team right here in Lawrence stands ready to keep homes, businesses, and Raider fans online and in touch under the Friday night lights and beyond. PRTC, serving Lawrence County with hometown values and cutting-edge communications. Go Raiders.
You are listening to live coverage of Raider football on the Lawrence Raider Sports Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the PRTC Halftime Show brought to you by PRTC, keeping our community connected. This is the voice of the Raiders, Jackson Edwards, and joining us for this halftime show, we have a special treat, ladies and gentlemen. We have the principal of Lawrence District 55 High School, Mr. Lewis Compton. How are we doing today?
Well, we're doing good tonight, Jackson. I hope you're doing well, enjoying the game, and I appreciate you having us on.
You know what? It's a real treat that I got to talk to you a little bit this week, and we're going to have a little bit of time for you to talk about what you guys are doing at my alma mater, Lawrence District 55 High School. Well, Mr. Compton, without any underway, we'll go ahead and get started. Like I kind of told you before, this is going to be kind of your opportunity to let the school shine a little bit. So we're going to start here. Just kind of tell me about how the beginning of school has been. And just how things are going at LDHS.
Well, thank you, Jackson. I appreciate the opportunity to come on and let everyone know what's going on at Lawrence High School. We are very excited this year. We've had a great start to the school year. I know that's sort of something that you might hear quite often, that everything is going well, but we really have. We've had a really good start to the school year. Our students have been well behaved, and our teachers are working hard in the classrooms. We've made some improvements in the building physically. Dr. Penland was able to provide us with a new floor in our commons area. So just changed the look of the commons area completely, and with some new tables. We really just had a fresh start as when students come in and sort of seeing this new look. And everyone has really enjoyed it, embraced it, and bragged on how good the school looks and how how that's improved the looks of our commons area, because as we take pride in our school. We take pride in everything we do, but we're working with an older building, and we have to continually to make upgrades and improvements. And we want to do, everything we can to make it the best place for students to come and for our teachers to come to work.
Well, I know speaking from an alumni point of view, that's just awesome to hear that, the school is truly trying to make upgrades, and your people like yourself and the administration are really working hard to give these students the best atmosphere to learn in every day. Well, moving on a little bit, we are on the halftime show of a football game, so I kind of got to ask you a little bit about athletics. But my first question to you is going to be, how important is it to have successful athletic programs in your school in today's world?
Well, Jackson, as you know, as a former coach, we look at the all of Dr. Penland set out the 5 A's, academics, the arts, athletics, atmosphere, and attendance. But near and dear to my heart is athletics. As a former coach, I just know the importance of athletics and the stage that it sets for a positive school culture. And just wanting to continue to improve. We had great success last year on many of our athletic programs, and Coach Spires does an absolutely phenomenal job as our athletic director. And I just can't commend and brag on him enough for what he does for our coaches and for our student athletes. But we are together. We have the same vision of growing our athletic programs. We talk about the touch, the connection with the community, and how many lives do we touch through athletics. Just look at our ball game tonight. Look at the crowd that's here tonight, and you can see the impact that athletics has on our community. And so we want to look at the athletics being the front porch to our school, and that as we can continually, hopefully, to upgrade our athletic programs and our athletic facilities to stay on par with the growing, and let's face it, the world we live in today, that's a growing need, is to continue to upgrade our facilities to make it the best for our student athletes. Because successful athletic teams, whether you're a player in the school or just a fan or a student, that positive energy just infiltrates our school and just builds our school culture and climate. It doesn't do it by itself, but it has a tremendous part on helping establish just a great positive school culture.
Well, you went ahead and kind of answered that little next question I have, but, kind of to bounce off of that, how does it truly affect the morale and the success in the classroom from, per se, a student athlete, but also how does that, show a picture to the community of what's going on when you're being super successful in athletics?
Well, I think, the positive culture, because our students get excited. When our wrestling team was having success last year, and as they were moving through the playoffs, a lot of excitement in the building just builds that. When you have positive excitement in one area, that can spread into other areas, into the classroom, and helping with student behavior and morale. And again, it's not a magic bullet, but it just plays a tremendous part of morale in the school. And as our programs, when we're making the playoffs, and we've had great success with our teams qualifying for the playoffs, but we want to continue to grow that we not only qualify the playoffs, but we start making runs into the playoffs. So, and that builds that excitement when the baseball team traveled to Charleston 2 years ago now, how the whole community, the school came out, we lined the streets of come out of the school, and everybody lined their exit when they were leaving to wish them well, and all the schools in the district. We rode through all the schoolyards and down Main Street, and how the community and the school brought the kids out, and it just created a buzz of excitement in District 55.
Well, that's awesome. And, as a former baseball guy, it's awesome to see. I actually got to go down and get to call that game for our community. But I can tell you what, we definitely outnumbered James Island at that game. I feel like the amount of people that we brought, and I'm sure, you were down there too, so you got to see it firsthand as well. But the amount of people that rally around these sports teams when they're uber successful is something that, you can't quite see enough of. But, that kind of leads me to another one. In our football program, Coach Porter has been really about being patient. We got a lot of younger guys on our team. How important, to kind of bounce off this, is it that our community shows up to support these younger players that can continue to grow year after year?
Oh, yeah, Jackson, I tell you, hit the nail on the head there. I want to go back last week at Hillcrest. Our stands were full, and it was just a tremendous crowd that came up to support. And, first game of the season is always exciting. But we do have a young young group, and it's a very good core group of young people that they're going to grow, and they're going to continue to grow under Coach Porter's leadership. He does a great job of mentoring and holding kids accountable and teaching the game of football, and not only that, but of life. But we really want to ask our fans and to be patient, to be supportive, and to come out and support our guys every week, because they need it. When the fans are cheering and they're loud and making noise in the stand and or cheering even when it's positive. And I think if you were at the game last week, although the score, got away from us a little bit in the second half and not the final score of what we wanted, and really wasn't indicative of how we played. But I think you can see the potential in what's there and what's coming for Lawrence football.
Yeah, that's definitely true, because I can tell you numbers-wise, last week, just on our stream, we had just north of 13,000 that were able to listen in at some point in time. And that's, that number by itself, if half of those people in the community were able to come on out and watch the Raiders, I couldn't even imagine what kind of environment we'd have for the football program. But moving on a little bit, kind of tell us about some of the new incentives that y'all have working this year at LDHS.
Well, thank you for asking about transitioning back to the school. One of the things we're doing this year, we're reinstituting the honor roll, the principal's honor roll and the AB honor roll. I just felt like that would be a great opportunity to recognize our students in the classroom, and to make whether it's the all A's with the principal's honor roll or the AB honor roll, to be able to recognize our students and bringing back that this year. We're also recognizing Students of the Month, and then having teacher spotlights. So just sort of spotlighting some of our teachers and just let the folks know a little bit about what they are and what they're about, and just a little peek inside their personal lives of who they are, and where our parents can put a name and a face and can see that on social media. We're also trying to be in the classrooms to get pictures of more social media presence in the classroom, because we were doing lots and lots of really good things in the classroom. We just want to highlight those things of the positive that's going on at the high school and in the classrooms, as our teachers and our students are working very hard.
One thing that I've seen that you didn't hit on, but I don't know how many years it's been since you brought this back, but I've been seeing them a lot more since I've had to kind of add this extra social media presence for the play-by-play. But, you highlighting the senior birthdays, that's something that you did when I was in school that I can remember. And, I think that's something important. Some of these kids getting a shout-out on their day in front of their classmates, I think that definitely helps if you have anything to add on that.
Yeah, I do, Jackson. Thank you. That sort of slipped my mind, going out. But yeah, that when I was an assistant principal, we did senior birthdays, and so this year I decided let's bring that back, and because I've had folks come up and say, well, my other child or my other son or my other daughter, they remember when you did that before, and so hearing that this past school year, I said, let's go ahead and restart that. And I think it's been a big hit. Now when I've got a little certain knock, I hit on the door and I come in, they know who is coming in. And even when the kids, they maybe don't want me to recognize them, they know when it's their birthday and they've got a smile on their face. So I'll bring them up front. And as you've seen, we sing to every one of them and get the class to join in. So it's about not necessarily the good singing I'm doing, but just recognizing them, just making a happy noise around those kids, just recognizing them and letting them know they have their special day too.
Well, that's awesome, and you can't help but appreciate that. A principal that's active in the school all the time. I've seen it firsthand. You were there when I was there, and I got to see it. You were out and about all the time, and I know, speaking from, again, an alumni perspective, that's something that really helps my heart a lot, and I get to watch that and get to watch the admin get out and do things. But last thing I got for you today before one more little snippet on football, but what are you thinking about this upcoming realignment? What do you think it's going to mean for our school? Do you think we're going to stay 4A, potentially jump up, potentially drop a little bit? What are you thinking numbers-wise for this next realignment?
Well, me and Coach Spires actually had that conversation this week. Looking at our numbers, we're right at 1,300 total students, and looking at our our 9, 10, 11, which is based on the numbers that'll be the realignment based on, not your graduating seniors. I really feel like we'll stay at 4A. I don't feel like our numbers are growing to the point to push us to 5A. Again, it depends on the cutoff of some of these other schools, but I really feel like we'll stay in 4A. I'm not sure about the conference or the region realignment of where we'll be. We'd love to be in an 18 region so that we're only having to find 3 non-region games to schedule. It makes from a scheduling standpoint much easier, but I really feel like we will remain 4A.
I got you. And again, Coach Compton, this is a football halftime show. I got to get your input. What are you seeing from those guys? I asked Coach Spires the same question last week. What are you seeing from that football program, morale-wise, coaching-wise, player-wise, that has you very excited for not only this year but for the future of Raider football?
I'm gonna tell you what's got me excited is energy. That's the one word. They have energy. They have energy. When you talk to Coach Porter, I go down to the office and maybe once a week, just check in, talk. It's energy. You can feel positive energy. Go in the weight room. They are working, sweat. The guys are sweating, dripping on the floor. And there's energy there. Going out to the practice, there's energy. It's just a positive energy, and it's really coming from these young guys. And then the seniors that are there with us that are embracing that, knowing that there might be some transition time, but they're embracing the change and really growing. So just that positive energy is what I see.
Well, that's awesome. Well, as always, I appreciate your time, and I know this community appreciates all the work that you do and all the stuff you pour into its students. And I can't say enough great things about you, but we really appreciate your time this week. And as Mr. Compton said, please come out, Raider fans, come support your football team. This week next week, as the Raiders will be taking on a very good Belton Honea Path team. Well, again, thank you for your time, Coach Compton, and we wish you the best of luck for the rest of this school year.
Thank you, Jackson. Y'all are doing a great job on the radio, so thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Shopping for car insurance is confusing. Holy cow.
Great. Now we have a cow in our kitchen. Why did you say that?
Because I don't know what coverage to choose.
So just say the State Farm jingle. A State Farm agent can go over all your options with you and help choose coverage that meets your needs. Dude, cow, could you move?
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Furman Ford is a proud supporter of Lawrence Raider football. We are your hometown Ford dealer that knows you by name and is here for your vehicle purchasing and service needs. Whether it's buying a new or pre-owned car or getting your current vehicle repaired and road ready, a member of the Furman Ford team is here to assist. Shop today and experience the difference that a true family-owned business can make. Furman Ford is a locally owned and operated business that has supported Lawrence County and Raider football since 2003. Furman Ford is the place to go for your next vehicle purchase or if your vehicle needs repairs. No big corporate pressure, just hometown folks here to serve your needs. Furman Ford, East Main Street in Lawrence.
Get connected to the future of driving performance with the Hercules Road Tour Connect PCV. This premium touring tire was made to make connections. Connecting the rubber to the road with reliable all-season handling. Connecting the drive to the destination with improved comfort and fuel efficiency. And connecting today's vehicles to tomorrow's driving performance. With our 70 years of expertise and leading protection promise riding shotgun, it's easy to make the connection to the Road Tour Connect PCV from Hercules Tires.
GoLawrence.com is Lawrence County's daily source for news, sports, and community updates. From Raider scores to breaking stories, we've got it covered. And for local businesses, GoLawrence.com is the premier platform in Lawrence County to promote your business. Stay informed. Stay connected. GoLawrence.com, your source for Lawrence County news. Go Raiders.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the PRTC Halftime Show. Jackson Edwards, Thomas Jones. We are just under 19 seconds before the second half takes place. But, Thomas, I know that me and you have looked at Clinton's offensive stats. Go ahead and tell them to the folks at home.
Well, you got Cook sitting with 87 rushing yards, Cromer with 51 rushing yards, and Glenn with 72 passing yards. So, I mean, that's a little bit of everything. And then, again, I'm a Raiders guy. But I still feel like those guys could have more. Honestly,
yeah.
If I'm being honest, I'm a biased fan, but. Yeah, what 8 first downs?
Four first downs for Lawrence.
4 first downs for Lawrence.
12 from Clinton.
Yikes.
It's unbelievable, Thomas.
Yikes.
I don't know, but Clinton will obviously get the football. Looks like Chris Boyd back deep for the Red Devils.
He's standing in the end zone.
Javen Cook, actually, that's number 3. Yeah, he's standing in the end zone. I'll tell you what, this is Lawrence's first kickoff of the game. This is to kick off the second half. So we watched Brock Franklin do quite a lot of that. This is the second half kickoff brought to you by Valvoline Express Care. Go see Alan Staten on Hillcrest Drive in Lawrence for any oil change or tire needs. As Brock Franklin, now that's a nice kick, huh?
Good kick.
That's a bomb. That's a way to start the second half.
Great
Thomas.
way to start it. That's the best thing that happened for Lawrence today.
Yeah, you got that right. And I'll tell you, Thomas, this is going to be Clinton's worst field position to start the game, and it's from their own 20-yard line.
Hey, man, we need a standing ovation for that. So
yeah, we might need it. But ladies and gentlemen, we just ask that you stay with us. We're going to get into some college games here soon. Kind of talk about. There's a big slate this weekend, Thomas.
It's a great slate.
Labor Day slate is normally always pretty good, but this year we have some really good games. But first, here we are here to do Clinton Lawrence. So that ball is going to be pitched to.
That's coming back.
Number 18. That is Zy Butler on the carry, but there's a flag. Is that going to be a personal foul? A personal foul going against the Red Devils.
You know what? We'll take those.
Yeah, free 15.
Take them.
Is Clinton now? Correct me though. This is now Clinton's worst starting field position of the game.
Take it.
It'll be first and 25. I don't really know why the ball has not been moved back yet. As ladies and gentlemen, we are. We're having some good content. I'm telling you, if we turn this camera on right in front of us, ladies and gentlemen, you get a great view of legendary athletic trainer, Coach Barry Atkinson.
Oh, yeah, Coach Atkinson, man. He stayed on me. You know, great story, I want to say, the legendary Gene Chizik, head coach for Auburn.
There's a big carry there by number 4, Angelo Cromer. He's going to pick up a nice gain on the play, but go ahead and finish that story.
But anyways, yeah, I was actually in the whirlpool with Coach Atkinson, and that's what we talked at in the training room. So Coach Atkinson, so ladies and gentlemen, Coach Atkinson helped me. He was helping me on my recruiting things too, just showing how well he protects his players and whatnot. So
he was trying to get him a college job.
Yeah,
that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to get him a college job. That ball snapped. It is handed off to Javen Cook. Javen Cook
makes the tackle.
Stiff-arming 2 Raiders, but he is then tackled there by number 8, Brandy Hill, who's had quite a few tackles at corner today. As it looked like Owen Glenn was the lead blocker there, number 17 for Clinton, the quarterback. We're going to pan it down to the sideline for a Angela Marlette State Farm sideline report. Andrew, tell us about the second half morale. How's it going down there?
Hey, guys, I know I think there might have been a little difficulty hearing Coach Porter there at the end of the second half, but one of the things he said was, we get to decide the taste that we want in our mouths at the end of this game with how we play here in the second half. And so, they're coming out. Heads are still held high. Guys are still looking like they're ready to fight. So we're hoping we'll see, maybe just a little more energy, a little more success, a little more fight in this second half.
That's right, as Zy Butler on the ground is barreling forward for Clinton. And they will pick up yet another first down here on the road. Well, Thomas, let's get into it a little bit. Thomas, their college football is back. Obviously we had some games last weekend. We had Kansas State versus Iowa State, the battle of Farmageddon. A lot of farming goes on in those states.
Oh, I know about that Midwest.
But, that was that. I mean, obviously, they have Avery Johnson. There's a great tackle there by the Raiders. Avery Johnson, the quarterback, Kansas State, a very highly rated quarterback this year. They've talked a lot about him. But a lot of the talk is his dad and his brother getting into a post-game altercation with some Iowa State fans.
Yeah, I peeped that, actually.
But as Iowa State, behind Rocco Beck, were able to get the job done in Ireland. The Ireland game was those two this year. As number 4 Angelo Cromer on the ground. But, Thomas, let's get into this week's slate of college football. First, starting with the first game tomorrow, Coach Lee Corso, obviously, in College Game Day, are going to be at Texas-Ohio State. It's going to be his last game putting on that headgear. His first game putting on that headgear, he chose Brutus and the Buckeyes. You think he chooses them again tomorrow?
No. I'm going with Arch Manning. I got my money on him, which he got all of it. But I got them Longhorns. They looking good, man. I think they'll win it all this year.
Oh, the Longhorns are definitely a very good football team. As a Clemson Tiger fan, I saw that last year, having to face them in the college football playoffs last year. They had an unbelievable squad they rolled out there. But I'll tell you what, I might be the most Arch Manning hater that is in existence. I'm a Broncos fan too, so that's crazy because I'm a big Peyton guy. Peyton's my guy. So, I was a Colts fan before that because I was really a Peyton fan. But then when he retired, obviously got stuck with him. But, yeah, I don't know, dude. His games are against, like, UL Monroe. I just don't know. He's going to have to show me that he can show up when the lights turn on and when it's a big-time game. But I'll tell you what, they kind of did them wrong. I believe that game's at noon tomorrow.
Noon. That's one thing I will say about Ohio State. They always play the early games. I'm like, come on. But, hey, wake up, watch some good football. I love it, though. I'm going to be in front of the TV all day.
Yeah, but – obviously, there is another kickoff show that's on Fox, and Urban Meyer and Charles Woodson and some of the old Big Ten guys are on that channel. Well, Barstool Sports signed a deal with Fox, and their president of operations and president of the company, Mr. Dave Portnoy, is a big Michigan fan. And things came out in reports on Twitter that that Ohio State was banning Dave Portnoy from this weekend's game.
Really?
Yeah. So I don't know if any of that got resolved, but I don't know if they've gotten that issue done. But so your pick is with the Longhorns tomorrow.
Yeah, I got the Longhorns. Like I said, with Ohio State, they got a new quarterback. I think it's the Sayin guy,
Julian
Sayin. He was originally going at Bama before Saban retired. But yeah, I'm going with the Longhorns. They're pretty stout, I will say. I think it's their year. Like I said, I'm an SEC guy, so of course, in state, I'm going with the Gamecocks. But I like the Tigers as well. Good play. Oh, hold on, please.
But all right, moving on, Thomas. We got another quarterback with the same name as you, and Thomas Castellanos, who now is at Florida State. My good buddy, as we talked about on last week's broadcast, Jaden McGowan, was one of his wide receivers at Boston College last year. And me and him were talking. This was last year when all that stuff was going on, I guess probably in the spring. And I was like, man, has this guy always been a big talker like that? He just called out Alabama.
He did.
I hope he saw that.
He did.
I don't care Nick Saban or not. He called out Alabama and Florida State. Florida State had a terrible year last year, by the way. But Florida State, obviously, they did the same thing they did 2 years ago when they had guys like Keon Coleman and Jordan Travis and Jordan Verse. Those guys out of the transfer portal, they did a great job at that, and they. Obviously, they've restocked through the transfer portal once again this year. Who's your pick in that game and why?
Bama. I think Bama has a lot of things to answer this year. I like, I'm biased towards Bama. I kind of like those guys. I kind of like how they run their program a little bit. They run it with swagger. It's their standard. I just love that factor of them. But come on, Florida State playing Alabama team first game. I think Alabama is looking forward to this game more than Florida State actually really, claims they are. So, yeah, Alabama for sure.
Well, obviously, Alabama has the young star-studded receiver in Ryan Williams. He just was a spectacular receiver last year for them. He obviously had that huge play in the Georgia game where he spun off a defender and found his way into the end zone when his quarterback was Jalen Milroe. But, we are actually going to try to get some out-of-town scoreboards here in a second, as The Raiders obviously here with 4 minutes left in the third quarter. Clinton still ahead 44-0. Third down and 23 for the Red Devils. How about interception, Thomas?
We need it. We need it. I mean, I'll take it. Get them down. Get them down.
A handoff there as it looks
short.
like it's fourth down for the first time today.
Need it. Let's get them off the field.
As it looks like that side judge wanted to give him a first down, but I really don't think. Yeah, okay, now he's holding up the fourth down. So Clinton will have it fourth down with 4 minutes and still ticking.
Yeah, I think that side judge lives on that road with Thornwood, so he's definitely a Clinton native.
You might be right, Thomas. But moving on to the big game tomorrow night, Tigers versus Tigers. LSU and the Bayou Bengals are coming to pay a visit to the Clemson Tigers tomorrow. That's going to be a very big game tomorrow. Lawrence actually going to have a lot of pressure, but Clinton's going to pick up a first down, as Clinton will now have it first and goal. But, yeah, obviously Tigers versus Tigers. There's been a lot of talk. Potentially the best two quarterbacks in the game in Cade Klubnik and Garrett Nussmeier, both very good quarterbacks. I'll tell you what, you being a Carolina guy, though, you probably don't like Nussmeier. That guy got away with a lot last year in Williams-Brice.
He did. I always look back at that game, and I'm like, man, South Carolina had it. They truly had it. But, with this Clemson LSU game, I'm actually going with Clemson.
There it is.
I'm going with, and it's, you want to know a fun fact about me? I've been to more Clemson games than I have been to South Carolina games. And I went to a ton of South Carolina games. That was like my actual first collegiate football game was a South Carolina game. So, but I've been to Clemson games a lot. The atmosphere there. And it being an opening game against LSU, ooh, man.
Was that just a game that you went down to, or was that a recruiting visit when you went to Carolina?
Recruiting visit, and then just with friends, the other games I went to.
And now you've been to Clemson on some recruiting stuff too as well, though, right?
Yeah, for baseball and football. So that was a pretty cool experience.
As we are going to give you a very quick Lawrence County Water and Sewer Commission out-of-town school board with some updates around the league. Wren is on top of Easley by a score of 33-14. Our foes from last week, the Hillcrest Rams, are on top of Clover 14-10. And Woodruff, who's off to a fast start, is beating Fountain Inn 25-13, Thomas.
Wow.
Watch out for the Wolverines this year.
I'm saying. They getting a new school built, and so they got some new guys too.
Ooh, what a hit there.
Great hit.
By Lincoln Alexander as he gets to Travian Robinson on the swing pass there. But Thomas, moving on, obviously, we got Sunday and Monday football this week. But before that, obviously, we have the Gamecocks and the Virginia Tech Hokies. There's been a lot of talk about this being a potential upset game.
Possibly. I highly doubt it, though. I think Sellers wins Heisman this year.
Oh, you heard it here first, folks. Thomas Jones, big Lenora Sellers guy.
I would never lie to you guys, man. I never tell lies, and I wouldn't lie to you about that. I think I might start wearing glasses just like him, so. Sheesh.
Getting the goggles on,
yeah.
Man. He's wearing the goggles. And another score, as the scores are coming in, these are brought to you again by Lawrence County Water and Sewer. BHP, who we play next week, leads Greer by a score of 14-0. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the third quarter. Raiders are down to their rivals 44-0. Logan Bragg and co still in the game. He'll take the snap as he will throw it deep. He's got a guy, Jaden Williams, as he's unable to make the catch. Dude, that looked like pass interference.
It did. It really did. But I think the only reason they didn't call it is because the ball was a little bit underthrown. That's the only reason. But, he was step with the wide receiver, so that's the only reason. But, it was definitely a lot of contact.
As both running backs and Nemo Fernandez as well as Denari Lee Jackson both are still in the game here. They're going to go split back here. It looks like on a 3rd down and 6 play, Raiders looking to pick up their 6th first down of the day.
Let's get this first down.
Be nice.
Clinton, they're definitely sending pressure, which they should, but let's get this first down. Screen right here would be beautiful.
As here's Bragg looking to throw.
Great
He's
play
got a
call.
wide open receiver in Denari Lee Jackson. Raiders are going to pick up a first down. The pass is complete to Lee Jackson. That first down is brought to you by Self Regional Healthcare.
And I know it's a little too late to say, but you know, just utilizing your running backs coming out the backfield, just throwing the ball to them. I think they should have did that a lot earlier. I think they should have recognized that because Clinton has shown a lot of pressure, and they've been getting out the ball pretty quick. So I think doing that would have been great.
As they give it back to their playmaker, Lee Jackson, he's going to stumble forward. I believe he got a yard or so. As he looks like he got about 2 yards on the play there. A minute and 2 seconds left in the third quarter. Clinton leads at 44-0. If you're still with us, the Raiders got their first stop on defense on that last possession down there near the goal line.
That's a positive, man.
There it is.
A positive.
Got to look for them, especially in games like this, ladies and gentlemen. So we're trying to keep you involved and give you a little bit about some stuff going outside of football as well as the Lawrence Raiders. We invite you to tune in with us next week at the same time. The Raiders are going to be playing Belton Honeypath as they're going to run the clock still here in the fourth quarter. As I think he got back to the line of scrimmage, it looks like. Yeah. As the Raiders may let this one tick down to the fourth. I wouldn't be surprised. As we're going to have to get some word from your guy, Coach Boyd, at some point. We're going to have to get him up here, get him on, or maybe interview him or something. I don't know. I might let you interview him for the pregame in a few weeks.
You know, we might have to monitor his, his language. We'll show. Because that's the one thing I told him when I first started this thing. I was like, got in a habit, especially playing baseball in the pro level. You cuss a little bit. So I had to monitor that a little bit. I'm just playing. I don't be cussing that much. My mom will whoop me right now at the age of 27. So.
As that's going to end the third quarter here, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you're still with us. Clinton is on top, 44-0. Raiders will have it 3rd and 9 when we come back after a quick break.
PRTC is a proud supporter of the Lawrence Raider football team, the Raider Band, and the Raider cheerleaders. We have been your local telecommunications provider for over 70 years. PRTC is committed to keeping our community connected. From dependable high-speed internet to crystal-clear phone service, our team right here in Lawrence stands ready to keep homes, businesses, and Raider fans online and in touch under the Friday night lights and beyond. PRTC, serving Lawrence County with hometown values and cutting-edge communications. Go Raiders.
Hey, Raider fans. Planning a home makeover or ready to build your dream house? Brewington Contractors has your back. This family-owned, local trusted general contractor brings over 27 years of experience building custom homes, remodeling kitchens and baths, roofing, renovations, and more, all across South Carolina with integrity, fair pricing, and a friendly team you can count on. From start to finish, they're committed to quality, on-time completion, and your 100% satisfaction. Need a project done right? Call Brewington Contractors today at 8649-235-789 or visit brewingtoncontractors.us to get your quote. Brewington Contractors, raising your expectations one project at a time.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Raiders have it 3rd and 9. Bragg rolling out. What an almost an unbelievable catch there by Jaden Williams. But it's going to hit off his hands. It's going to be 4th down and 9, Thomas, as the fans are starting to clear out of Casey Hanna Stadium.
Yeah.
Not too happy with what's happened, as this now makes it, I believe, 6 years in a row that Clinton is 5 years at least in a row that they have won this thing. The last time the Raiders have won the county championship in football was 2019.
Yeah, I remember our longest streak without beating a team was Greenwood at the time, and I know we've ended that streak in 2015. So that was one big one. But hopefully that don't turn into that. I think it was 17 years at the time.
Nice punt by Franklin. It's going to take a nice bounce. Raider bounce. It's going to be returned by number 13, Mason Tinsley. And the Raiders have a lot of guys, a big entourage. They'll get to Tinsley, as he has a nice return almost up to the 45-yard line, or their own 45. Well, Thomas, we got one more big one. One more big game, obviously. We have Miami Notre Dame. That's Mario Cristobal versus Marcus Freeman Both teams with new quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Carson Beck versus C.J. Carr at Notre Dame.
Yeah.
What you got in that one?
Notre Dame. You know, I feel like the Catholics will love me about this one. But Notre Dame, that's one place. You know, if I would have played football, it probably would have been Notre Dame.
Well,
true story. Because, the year I was recruited, I got offered. Notre Dame only gave 2 offers to 2 players in the state of South Carolina. It was me and Troy Pride, who went to Greer High School, and he was actually my roommate in the Shrine Bowl. And I remember, he was talking to me because at the time he was committed to Virginia Tech, and he was like, "Yeah, bro." He was like, "I'm gonna go to Notre Dame. You should come with me." And the whole time he was talking, I'm like, "Bro, little do you know, bro, I'm about to play baseball." I was like, "Bro, but Troy, that's my dog, man. Like, I think he's with the Dallas Cowboys right now. So, but yeah, that's a good person."
Clinton will throw it out to the sideline. That pass will be complete to Chance Brady, as he's going to get close, but he'll still be about 3 yards short, I believe, of the marker there, Thomas. 9 minutes and 11 seconds left in the game, ladies and gentlemen. We ask that you stay with us after the game for our post-game show. We'll give you all the stats and more about next week's matchup, your post-game show, with our sponsors there are going to be Go Lawrence Furman Ford, Big Air, as well as Valvoline Express Care. We will announce our offensive and defensive player of the games, our drive and collision of the game.
Let's get a stop right here.
That ball is, I believe, past the sticks. It's going to be a first down for the Red Devils. 8 minutes left in the game, ladies and gentlemen, if you're still with us. 8 minutes and 20 seconds, 44-0 Clinton. I guess, Thomas, you can look at it. Raiders didn't allow a single point in the third quarter.
Hey, I love the positivity, bro. Like,
I'm hanging around you too much.
But yeah, you're right. That's something, that's good. I'm sure Clinton probably changed some stuff, brought some guys out, key guys. But, again, you still got to play football, man. You still got to play it hard. That's a whole.
As we are going to get the hold call there. As that play's going to come back there. Looked like number 33, Bates Turner, was in the backfield there applying the quarterback pressure. Raiders are going to get a free 10 thanks to the holding call against the Red Devils. It'll be 1st and 20 now. That'll back Clinton back into their own territory across the 50. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to remind you, we will have the game next week. Lawrence versus Belton Honeypath at home. The BHP Bears come in surging hot, as they look like they probably will win 2 in a row to start the season, to head down to Lawrence. As there's a handoff there. It's a big hole there by Angelo Cromer. Or excuse me, KJ Vance on that play. That was number 6. Not number 4. So
they move alike.
Yeah, they definitely do. As that's a first down on that play. I mean, you got to think about that. It's 1st and 20, and we're letting the running back take that thing up the gut for 20 yards, Thomas?
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think, as a football player on the field, you got to know, being down, the opposing team has the ball, they're running the ball. You know what I'm saying? The coach, he has a little bit of feel. He's not trying to just kill you guys, so he's going to run the ball. So
there's another carry for the Red Devils. They have, as you said, they have completely changed that carry. It was by a starter, though. Number 18, Zai Butler, is going to carry that one. As he is still in the game.
Yeah.
But it looks like the wing backs have changed out.
Yeah.
Javen Cook and Angelo Cromer both seem to have left the game, as more and more fans piling out of KC Hanna. 6 minutes left, 44-0 in favor of the Red Devils, and they're threatening to score once again, Thomas. As that ball is handed off to number 16, Lincoln Alexander. The Raiders are going to get there.
One thing I would love to see is yards after first contact, for Clinton. Like, they literally will make contact with somebody but keep moving their feet. Like, that's impressive. That's something, it's kind of, I don't know if it's really taught or it's just something that is just in you. So
it could be that, though. Did you play for Coach Fountain at all when he was here?
So Coach Fountain, he was my baseball coach my 7th grade year, and then he had left. But great person. I really liked him a lot.
Well, Coach Fountain was on staff here at Lawrence before heading over to Lamar to be the head coach, and now he is at Clinton. And he's done a fantastic job there. Their program is unbelievable. We're going to take it down to an Angela Marlette sideline report with Andrew Corley. Andrew, what's going down on the field right now?
Guys, there's really only so much to say at this point. Guys keeping their head up. Guys continue to try to find positives, like y'all said. Haven't given up a point in the second half, so there's something. But obviously, the tone of this game has kind of shifted early, and I think we're all kind of starting to look towards BHP next week.
Well, Andrew, tell us, tell the viewers at home, talk to them a little bit about this Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift situation that you seem to keep bringing up on social media.
So here's the thing, guys. For 6 years, Taylor Swift was in a relationship with this random British actor. It was miserable. They broke up. It was in the middle of a tour. It was a whole thing. Then she went into this 2-week whirlwind deal with, has the play started yet? Y'all tell me when I need to stop. She went into this weird 2-week thing with Matty Healy from the 1975. It was uncomfortable for everyone. Then all of a sudden, Travis Kelce starts shooting his shot on his podcast. Everybody thought it was a bit. It might have started out as a bit. What I've learned from my wife's Kindle library is that the way the relationship starts doesn't mean that's how it's going to end. So that was 3 years ago. That was summer of 2023, and this week they got engaged. So maybe it was a bit. If it was a bit, they're really leaning into it. But looks like things might have progressed from there.
Ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Corley. Sideline Report is brought to you by Angela Marlette.
Also,
State
just to
Farm.
prove to people I know ball, Ohio State over Texas, over LSU, over Florida State, Carolina, Notre Dame over Miami.
Thomas is hating that. Calling the upset over the Gamecocks. But, Andrew, I'll tell you what, I love that Clemson pick there. So, well, Thomas will probably have to get into it. But, yeah, those picks aren't terrible, right?
I don't know. They okay. Okay.
Look, Thomas knows ball. I know Aristotle. That's the thing here. That's a Taylor Swift reference for you, Thomas.
Yeah, I was about to say, huh?
Do we know that Arch Manning is good?
We don't.
Do we have any proof that Arch Manning is good? I know people like that he stayed at Texas, but if he was really that good, would there not have been enough money to get him somewhere else? That's my thing.
I agree with you as the Red Devils now have this one down 3rd and goal at the 1. Thomas Mill. Me and Andrew agree on that one, I guess.
Great point. But I think Arch Manning, he probably goes into the season knowing that, people, he has high expectations, he has to prove it. So, I think he will. So, and again, I was always a Peyton Manning fan, so that's really why I want to see him succeed.
As Clinton will take the snap, 3rd and goal, and it looks like number 16, Lincoln Alexander, is going to have the corner. Clinton will find the end zone for the first half, or for the first time in this half, and that scorecard now reads 50. It's the second time in this season through 2 weeks that the Lawrence defense has surrendered 50 or more points to the opposing team, Thomas. At some point, you really got to talk about that and figure that out on defense. I mean, 2 weeks. I mean, I'm not saying we've come out and played some cupcake opponents because Hillcrest and Clinton have both been fantastic opponents for the Raiders. But giving up 50 points is never something you can just be like, it's because we played a good team.
No, that's a lot of points, and it's even harder for your offense to even keep up with that number. But that's a lot of points. 50 points, back-to-back weeks. Yeah, that's something you really have to go back home and be like, all right, what's going on? Another hiccup on special teams. I mean, on the extra points.
It's just technically special teams.
Yeah.
There is another hiccup, and again, man, Coach Fountain's probably going to have a ton of film to watch this week on miscues in the extra point game. But that's about all he's got to look at. So, I mean, that's a positive for them, that's really the only thing he has to look at. On that drive, that play was 10 plays. It took up a lot of that clock, Thomas. Almost 8 minutes off the clock there. Just another great drive by the Red Devils, a big clock management drive, as there now are 3 minutes and 6 seconds left in this ball game. Lawrence trails Clinton 50-0. The Raiders will have their return team out quick. Clinton's still in the huddle, though, as if I was Clinton, I'd probably be wanting to get that clock rolling again. So they probably need to get this ball kicked off, huh?
Yeah. For Lawrence, let's score. Let's at least put something on the board. I don't, that's not a good look to check the box scores and it's 50-0. That's
well, I'll tell you what. Last week we talked about how the score did not dictate any part of the game, really. The score's dictating a lot tonight, and that's a sad thing to say.
Yeah. And not to be that guy, but honestly, I would still say Hillcrest is a better team than Clinton. Again, Clinton, I feel like they know their game plan. I feel like they know their offense. They know what they're doing truly well. But nothing special, but they do it in perfection, I would say. So shout out to them.
Yeah, I think you're definitely right on. You hit that nail on the head right there, Thomas. As Denardly Jackson will return here. He's going to get it close to the 30. We'll call that one the 29. Well, Andrew, we're going to pin it down to you real quick for an Angela Marlette sideline report. Andrew, you think we're going to start kind of letting some other guys get in here, or you think Coach Porter's going to kind of leave it with the ones?
Sticking with the starters, I think Coach Porter, in interviews and things like that, he's a little bit low-key. He does not like to lose, and he does not like to get shut out. And if I had to guess, I would say we're trying to put something on the board here in these next 2 minutes.
I like that mindset, and I know Thomas does. As that clock now reached 2:20 left in the fourth quarter, 50-0. As Andrew said, the starters are still in the game. As they're going to look to throw it, they're going to have a pass. Wow. A shoulder is lowered there. What a catch there by number 10, Elijah Cheeks. Lowers a shoulder there and right into the defender's chest.
Big guy by number 10. I thought he was going to drop it at first, but he stayed with it. So, that's good, man. Utilizing him, hopefully next week probably get the ball more in his hand. But I like that.
As the Raiders have a 2 tight end set now. This is a different set than we're used to.
It is.
Trying something new. As the snap is low, it's going to be handed to number 23 there. That is Amel Bennett. As Bennett now is new to the roster, I believe, as he was a later add.
Okay. Good run by him.
Great run by Bennett. Played some 3 yards. It'll be 2nd and 7. 1:15 left in this game. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to join us for the post-game show here on the Lawrence Raider Sports Network. As
keep going.
They're going right back to him.
Nice
Yale Bennett is going to pick up the first down. Time's still going, though. If Coach Porter wants to avoid a shutout here, he's got to score in 57 seconds. Got to start taking shots here, I think. But as I was saying before, don't forget our post-game sponsors, AMT, Furman Ford, Big Air, Valvoline Express Care. 1st and 10 here from the Clinton 44. So that ball is going to be handed again to Jimiel Bennett. There's a flag on the play. It's probably going to give us a free 15. 30 seconds left in the game, and I'm honestly shocked that clock's still not running. I guess on penalties they probably still stop it. But,
if that was the case, the game be over.
Yeah, it would. For them to get that call out, they'd probably just sit there and stall. But not many people here at KC Hanna on either side. Clinton kind of cleared out a little bit too. I guess they saw this game kind of get out of hand, and they wanted to get out of here early, probably try to get out of any of that post-game traffic. But if you're still with us, ladies and gentlemen, just stick with us for the post-game show. Again, at this time, I just want to thank you on our behalf for tuning in with us this week, as there's 20 seconds left in this game. Bragg's going to take a shot to the end zone. It is through the hands of the defender. That's number 15, Chance Brady, in coverage on number 5, Jaden Williams. Pass is underthrown. 8 seconds left in the game, and I believe that's going to take us to the end. Lawrence is going to suffer their worst defeat in this cold streak against the Red Devils. Clinton absolutely throttles the Raiders at home, 50-0. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we're going to take another quick break before the postgame show. You are listening to Lawrence Raider Football here on the Lawrence Raider Sports Network.
Get connected to the future of driving performance with the Hercules Road Tour Connect PCV. This premium touring tire was made to make connections. Connecting the rubber to the road with reliable all-season handling. Connecting the drive to the destination with improved comfort and fuel efficiency. And connecting today's vehicles to tomorrow's driving performance. With our 70 years of expertise and leading protection promise riding shotgun, it's easy to make the connection to the Road Tour Connect PCV from Hercules Tires.
PRTC is a proud supporter of the Lawrence Raider football team, the Raider Band, and the Raider cheerleaders. We have been your local telecommunications provider for over 70 years. PRTC is committed to keeping our community connected. From dependable high-speed internet to crystal-clear phone service, our team right here in Lawrence stands ready to keep homes, businesses, and Raider fans online and in touch under the Friday night lights and beyond. PRTC, serving Lawrence County with hometown values and cutting-edge communications. Go Raiders.
GoLawrence.com is Lawrence County's daily source for news, sports, and community updates. From Raider scores to breaking stories, we've got it covered. And for local businesses, GoLawrence.com is the premier platform in Lawrence County to promote your business. Stay informed. Stay connected. GoLawrence.com, your source for Lawrence County news. Go Raiders.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Lawrence Raider Sports Network. We're getting you some post-game action as we are having to wait on Andrew Corley now. So we're going to wait a second. We're going to give him a chance to kind of walk back this way and give us a better answer with him and Coach Porter as they're walking off the field. But we're going to get to our overall players of the game for tonight's game. I know Thomas is sitting there beside me saying, I don't know if we need to give these out tonight. But, obviously, we're going to start with the A&T Defensive Player of the game this evening. That'd be Zamar Jones. He had an unbelievable game tackling. Great job getting to the football today.
Yes.
A big highlight in today's game was him.
Yes, I agree. That was a big hit. I agree. That was something I thought, something you could have built off of for sure. But, yeah, that was the highlight.
But now we got a second. We are going to pan it to our sideline guy, Mr. Andrew Corley. He is with Coach Porter. Andrew, take it away.
Right here.
All right. Coach, you mentioned last week there are no easy games in this non-conference schedule. And obviously, and what do you do from tonight to get ready?
Well, you're absolutely right. We played 9 teams that's in the playoff, 3 played in the state championship, and 1 team that won it. And we played that team tonight. We just got to keep building, got to stay encouraged and not be discouraged. I know the kids are working hard.
Well, you heard it here. We're going to get Andrew to kind of walk a little bit more towards the sideline. We missed the back end of that, Andrew. Kind of just reiterate on what Coach was saying. I guess kind of when you get over more towards the sideline. We kind of lost him there after he was talking about no easy games, and obviously we played the former state champions in 2A
Yeah,
tonight.
sorry about that, guys. You got me back?
We got you.
All right, I know. Apologize to the folks who are still with us. We're still figuring out the logistics of making everything work. You know, I think y'all heard on the first half there, you know, Coach Porter reminding us of the reality of what this schedule looks like. 9 playoff teams, 3 teams that played for state championships. Clinton obviously won one. So there's no easy games. You know, he said he's a reminder that he's not just here for one season, he's not here for one game. This is about building culture. And we're seeing, you know, the line I'll remember, it's not just about buying new good-looking uniforms. It's about who's in those uniforms and making sure that everybody's stepping up, doing their job. And we're seeing that, and they're going to continue to work on that heading into BHP next week.
Well, thank you, Andrew. That was an Angela Marlette sideline report brought to you by Angela Marlette State Farm, ladies and gentlemen. Go out and see our local State Farm agent, Miss Angela Marlette, in Lawrence, South Carolina. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Jackson Edwards, Thomas Jones here for the postgamer. We had our defensive player of the game, our Furman Ford drive of the game tonight. You know, there weren't very many good drives offensively, but I think the drive of the game, though, we're going to look at it a different way. The Raider defense able to get a big stop to end the third quarter defensively on a defensive drive.
Yes.
They did a great job being able to stop the Red Devils on 4th and goal. So I think that's all I have along those lines. If you have anything else to add.
I have to go with that. I would have to go with that. You know, that and again, that was encouraging. You know, you have to again in this game, you know, you have to look at, you know, because it's a lot of things, it's a lot of bad things that can build up, especially when you're a sports player. You know, and as a sports guy, you tend to look at all the negative and kind of overlook the positive things because, you know, you always want to get better at what you haven't been successful at. But again, you know, you got a long season ahead of you guys. Like Porter was saying, you know, this is a Clinton. That's a good team. Like you said, they won state championship last year. So again, clear this off the slate. All right, you're 0-2, but who cares? It's still super early. Go attack BHP, and let's keep going.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the best way we could put it. But moving on now to the Big Air collision of the game, brought to you by Big Air Lawrence. Our collision of the game actually is going to go to an offensive player today, Mr. Elijah Cheeks, who later in the game lowered that shoulder and absolutely put a Clinton player on his back. I think that's probably going to get our collision of the game, Thomas.
Oh, for sure. For sure. That was a big hit, man. I love that. That's what I've been waiting on.
And then finally, our offensive player of the game is, you know, there was not a lot of offense today.
It wasn't.
But there was one guy that stood out today, and that was Denari Lee Jackson.
Yes.
He averaged quite a few yards per carry. We'll have to get that for sure. But, you know, he had an amazing night on the ground. Did a lot of that by himself. Well, Thomas, you know, tonight was not at all our night. Not anywhere close to what we wanted to happen in tonight's contest, Thomas, as the Red Devils are out on our field tonight. Something that you just cannot stand to see as a Lawrence Raider. Thomas, just to kind of preview next week, a very good Belton Honeypath team is coming to town, and it does not get any easier for the Raiders.
Oh, it doesn't. And, you know, I will say Belton Honeypath, they always give us a challenge, bro. I mean, always. Like, I never beat Belton Honeypath when I was in high school. Never. So it's one thing to, you know, come out here, you know, because right now, Lawrence, we have a bitter taste in our mouth. So we have to go out here and attack early. And that's one thing we didn't do today. So I will say, you know, that will probably be my key point for next week. Attack early. We have to start early.
Obviously that, but along with that, we have got to be better on defense. And I think everybody here could see that today. You didn't even have to be a big-time football mind or on our broadcast to see that.
No.
But, you know, obviously the defense is going to have to find a way to step up next week. The Raiders need it. The offense obviously had a very off night tonight compared to what they did in obviously their last scrimmage against Chase and then their first game of the year against Hillcrest in the first half. The Raiders have got to figure out a way to get things going, or this year's not going to be at all what those players thought it was going to be.
No.
And not at all what we thought. So, you know, obviously, like Coach Porter says, you got to be patient, got to trust the process.
Yes.
But, you know, fans want results, and that's how it is. Fans are going to show up when you provide results. And that, you know, that's anywhere. That's you look at professional stadiums, you look at college teams, you know, teams lose money when they lose because they're unable to keep people there. And I think the name of the game is you want fans, give them a reason to show up.
Gotta win. But, you know, I agree. I totally agree. But on the flip side, you know, again, trying to be the hopeful, positive human being, as a fan, being in this booth, but the fans that come and watch the Raiders every day, I know they're not getting the outcome that they're expecting or wanted. But you have to understand that these guys are giving everything they want. They go home knowing that, oh man, like we laid the goose egg. We disappointed you guys. These are kids at the same time. So you gotta show up and encourage these guys. It's a bad feeling. I've been in their shoes before, where you're by halftime the game is basically over. I've been there. So again, and you see fans walking away. We see that. We have 2 eyes as well. So again, be there, show up for the guys. They're training. It's something new every single week for these guys, and they're young guys. And you have a freshman quarterback. You got freshman players. Even guys who probably the first year ever playing football. So, again, stay with those guys, and you have a coach that will fight for those guys. And I hear it in his voice. Even talking to Andrew, he didn't sound discouraged. He still knows that there's still positive, that there's still energy in this team. So I love that.
You got that right. Every time I talk to Coach Porter, he's always a very positive person, and it's tough to be that as a head coach, especially after a 1-9 season. I'm sure he's not showing it, but that patience sometimes can waver on you. And the best part about Coach is he's not out here throwing that on his players or doing this or being a victim. He's being what this city needs.
Yes.
They need a guy they can count on, and like I tell him every week, he has my full support. I know he's got the support of my team, and I want the fans to support him because obviously, like you said, they need that. These kids need that, and it's their kids. It's a kid's game at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But again, you know how people are.
Yeah,
They don't show up to watch losing. So there's opposite ends of it. But ladies and gentlemen, that's about all the time we have tonight. As for Hammer Walker, Andrew Corley, Thomas Jones, I am Jackson Edwards. We're signing off from the Lawrence Raider Sports Network. We'll see you next time.
You are listening to live coverage of Raider football on the Lawrence Raider Sports Network.